season. And
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Severe weather could make a comeback. No severe storms now. Sunny this afternoon, making it up to 61. It's 55 now downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Severe weather could hit Friday and Saturday. Ryan Hedrick reports on the threats you could face.
Whenever we have severe weather, that's going to be very important, especially storms can move in pretty quick.
That's Andrew White at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis. He says, get ready for Friday as storms move in, bringing damaging winds and large hail.
And once it gets to about the size of 1 inch or greater, that's where you're going to start seeing some damage to either to cars or your roof.
As for the possibility of tornadoes,
right now the tornado threat looks lower compared to the wind threat and the hail threat with this.
People here illegally could be turned into ICE if they get arrested. A bill sent to the governor today to be signed into law requires jail staff to report it to the sheriff if they believe someone who's been booked is here illegally, and the sheriff in turn to report that to ICE. Generally, Democrats voted against that bill and Republicans voted for it. A fatal crash on US 31 near Westfield just before 7 this morning. Police say a car was headed south, suddenly crossed the median and went into the northbound lanes, hitting a semi-truck head-on, killing the driver of the car. The driver of the truck survived with non-life-threatening injuries. A multi-city, multi-county drug roundup. Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess.
This morning, a lot of my officers and officers from the Marion County Sheriff's Office, the Sheriff's Office, Edinburgh Police Department, Greenwood, and Franklin Police Department, we met. We've got 45 drug warrants for serving.
Edinburgh, Franklin, Greenwood, Indianapolis, Martinsville, Mooresville, and Shelbyville. Arrest warrants served in each of those cities. Burgess explains some about why.
It has a large, it puts a large dent into what crime is being committed in Johnson County, but a lot of us officials and law enforcement, we're tired of people ODing on drugs.
The majority of the people arrested were dealing meth, he says. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Look around. Spring is here. And no matter what you're planning or planting, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So spring forward in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. So spring forward, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit Hubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
What's up, Chris? Eastbound 465 slows Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65 now slowing down 21st to Meridian. And eastbound 70 slow from Harding Street to the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping and code radio. And get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
A beautiful day today. Look for lots of sunshine, light winds with temps right around 60. A few clouds later tonight. Not going to be as cold with lows in the lower 40s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
All right, Hammer, fallout from the property tax fiasco. Anybody feeling any better today? I mean, Mike Braun, the governor, is touting a lot of its benefits. I was completely underwhelmed. It's not anything. It's a shell of what it was when it was first proposed. Again, going back to 2021 rates, hell yeah, that would have made a difference for everybody. I don't think the 10% crap, and the $300 or the $200 does much for anybody. Who am I to judge what you do with your money? Every little bit helps. But I don't get the sense that anyone that's I've seen on social media likes this thing. And it's over now. There's nothing we can do.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Yeah. This is the relief you get. So if your question is, do I feel better? The answer is no.
No.
That's a negative, ghostwriter, right there. But it's almost like those stages of grief, right? Like at first there's the shock, and now here comes the mourning. That's kind of where I'm at right now because, man, it could have been so much better, but so many things went wrong. I'm bitter at so many people. And they've all got an R next to their name, by the way. This isn't some sort of, I'm here to rip on the libs. I'm here to own the libs. No, 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 no. This is an R problem here in the state of Indiana. And our problem, O-U-R, is that we keep voting these turds back into office.
And I would have been completely fine with a veto and those said turds that you were talking about overturning it. Then at the very least, you know, we could have had somebody fighting for us for some real property tax relief. Now, again, Braun and his campaign touting the benefits of what was passed, but I would have been much more impressed. I mean, highly impressed with a veto, even if it would have been overridden by a simple majority.
Yeah, this is still a kick in the pants. There's no doubt about it. And there was an article in the Indy Star today by James Briggs. Now, normally, James Briggs, I don't think it's a big shocker here, leans very left, right? But this article, I think our audience would enjoy reading. Gives a lot of praise to Rob Kendall for his fight for property tax relief. Although, in the article, he makes it sound like that was an unrealistic goal to have complete property tax reform. The article states from Briggs in the Star that the mistake Braun made was going along with it. He should have been his own man and said, hey, these are the real expectations here. I want this as much as you do, but the real reality is you got Rod Bray over at the State House, you got Todd Houston, you got lobbyists. These people are tough to defeat for a guy that's only been the governor a couple of months here. We have to put down some expectations, but I'm in your corner. But that never happened. We were promised the moon, and we were given a big old wet diaper loaded with dookie.
And you ew, gross. I haven't had to deal with those in quite a while, but we were promised something going back to 2021 rates. And Mike Braun, I believe, told Tony Katz that when that promise was, I believe he described it as a bogey or something like that.
Correct.
Remember that conversation they had? Was it yesterday they had the conversation? So I'm assuming that means is like look, I threw something out there, art of the deal, Trump style, and then that's where the negotiation begins. But I didn't know that was the strategy, I guess. Right?
And what's frustrating is you see other states executing this and pulling it off. Other states, like the Texas House, they passed a $337 billion budget, cutting property taxes and also funding schools. Now, I get it. Texas is a much, much larger state than Indiana. But fundamentally, the concept is still the same.
We got surplus here.
Oh, we were reminded of the surplus, and when asked if the people would get any of the surplus back, everybody just laughed, smacked each other on the ass, and said, no, how about we don't do that? We'll go spend it on crap. And by the way, we've also got the general fund. Oh, don't forget about the beautiful general fund. This is where, like, the sports betting money goes to and some of the Vice money. And instead of using it for meaningful things around the state of Indiana, not just property tax, but let's say fixing roads, taking care of teachers, educational purposes, or even rehab centers, helping out the homeless in some of these, poor areas.
I'm for all that stuff.
It goes to frivolous crap. It's basically a slush fund for the high-ranking movers and shakers of the party.
Yeah.
So if you're a high-ranking Indiana Republican from, let's just say, Morgan County, I'm just throwing a county out there, you can dip into the general fund and get your county fair barn taken care of. But everybody else just sits back and waits for meaningful things to happen around the state. But we shall see. The governor is scheduled to be on our program next Wednesday.
Okay.
So a week from today. So we will see what happens. Remember that activist judge that tried to stop the deportation flights?
You could have stopped an activist judge. Like, I would have been like, you're going to have to be more specific.
Right.
You might even have to be more specific with these flights.
This is the U.S. District Judge Boasberg. He was trying to stop the El Salvador flights of the MS-13 gang members being flown out.
Alien Enemies Act?
Correct. Well, the Supreme Court basically depanced him, and now he's still not letting it go. This little ankle biter of a judge is threatening to hold the Trump administration in contempt of court. So the same guy who, again, was told by the Supreme Court, know your role and shut your mouth, and I'm paraphrasing there, is threatening to hold the Trump administration in criminal contempt of court for violating his orders to turn those planes around carrying the MS-13 gang members to El Salvador.
What are they going to do? Go to the Oval Office and arrest Trump? Take him out and take him out in handcuffs. Hey, remember how it was cool when you were for instance, Joe Biden saying, "Yeah, screw the Supreme Court. I'm still going to take care of college debt."
Oh, sure.
I don't care what they said.
He was passing out college education left and right.
Supreme Court said one thing. Joe Biden said, "Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm still doing it," and everybody was high-fiving him. Quite the opposite here. With the current president.
And it's being covered a little differently in the media as well.
Oh, sure is.
Speaking of things that are about to be covered in the media, or should I say, no longer covered in the media. So we talked about the governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, Jewish Democrat.
Yes.
Really, one of the stars of their party.
Really, and it was was supposed to be Kamala's running mate at one point when they chose her to run against Donald Trump. But I think he was a little more, I don't know, boisterous, had more of a voice, a credible voice than Tim Walz.
You also said Jewish wrong. He's Jewish.
Oh, yeah, you can't have...
The party of Free Palestine, the last thing they want is a young, charismatic Jewish guy on the ticket.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, his governor's mansion was ransacked, a complete breach of security. Some lunatic went in there.
Not ransacked, firebombed.
Like
Molotov cocktail, baby.
Police reports say this guy was looking for the governor to bash him repeatedly with a sledgehammer. We're finding out a little bit more about this nut. And surprise, surprise, he is a pro-Palestine activist. He is a Hamas-supporting Marxist, according to his social media profiles, all about free Palestine, and was basically going after the governor of Pennsylvania because he was Jewish. This isn't a Republican or Democrat thing because he's a Democrat. This is a anti-Semitic thing here. So you can expect this story to disappear from the national news stories at any moment now. Now, had this been some white, lunatic, lone wolf guy that was a Trump supporter, hot damn, they'd be camped out in front of the guy's house for a month.
Oh, please. Left-wingers, lefties. All right, Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Okay, that guy tried to assassinate him, lefty. Trump, 2 different times, lefty. Governor of Pennsylvania, lefty. Are you noticing a trend here?
The Bernie bro that shot the softball players?
Lefty.
If they could stop trying to assassinate people, that'd be swell. That would be fantastic. Before we hit a break here, Allison, I think we need some mood music.
Oh, no. What happened? That's bad.
This is in honor of your Jameson bottle that you broke last night, Nigel. If you follow us on social media, you know the heartbreak that Nigel had last night.
I'm surprised my wife didn't catch me down on my knees with my head in my hands. I was tasked with going to the LQ, the liquor store, on the way home from work last night. We're having people over this weekend. I essentially don't have any beer at the house anymore. She has a wine cabinet that also holds liquor. I don't have anything except a couple of half-drink bottles of Barkeep, right? So
sure.
We need to replenish for company. Get home, bought a couple of handles, right? Bought a handle of
handles are bigger.
Vodka and a handle of Jameson, and boy, whoever that guy was at Payless Liquors that put them both in the paper bag got me good.
Oh, he put both handles in one paper bag?
Put both handles, but it was my fault, man. I picked it up by the top. I had the case of beer in one hand, and like a guy, you do when you have several things you need to get from the car to the house. You try to do it all at once, and there was a hole in the bag, and that thing went straight out the bottom. And just $50 down the drain. And my wife was there to catch every moment of it, holding her belly, laughing, and taking pictures, sending it to all the neighbors while I'm just standing there looking at it.
Did people in your neighborhood put their flags at half staff? Nigel's had a loss in the family.
I just took it. You know what? I just took it as she goes, are you going to go back and get another one? I go, no, I'm not spending another $50. I'll take it from a sign. I'll take it as a sign from God. He did not want me to have the Irishman. Irishman didn't survive. But if that's ever happened to somebody, it's never happened to me before. It's just kind of disheartening.
We've got the pictures on our social media.
Yeah, scroll down. Facebook on Hammer Nigel, Twitter X at Hammer Nigel. Scroll down, you'll see the devastation.
Instagram as well. Yeah, it's a moment of silence for the Irishman that did not make it to Casa de Laskowski.
$50 bottle, $50 handle right down the drain.
What's up, Matt Bear?
Looking at northbound 6570 downtown, stalling the exit ramp to Washington Street. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic heading to Meridian. And that is a delay time of 4 minutes. Inbound 65, slowing down 21st to Meridian Penn. At a crash, Fall Creek Parkway at Evanston. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Dude, Matt, man, going a complete 180 here, talking about what we were just talking about, how I had a bottle of alcohol destroyed because of my own stupidity. You were featured on Channel 13 for your sobriety. What an incredible piece, man. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks, man.
I mean, I loved what I saw out of that thing, and that was awesome for them to highlight you and your accomplishments and put out the plug for the podcast as well, right?
Yeah, it was. It was really cool. It's Supporting Sobriety. That's the podcast I write, I drink, and I do. So, yeah.
Congratulations on that, brother.
Brother, made my heart sing. Appreciate you,
It's about time 13 did something right around here.
All right. Yeah.
Coming up here in about, 15 minutes or so, information on Tales from the Track presented by Relay Indiana.
Are tickets on sale?
Tickets, I believe, are on sale now.
Right now?
If you go to WIBC.com, I will have to double check that. But we'll have all the information coming up in just a few minutes. This event sells out every year, so get ready. This is going to be a good one. That's coming up in just a little bit here at the Hammer and Nigel Show.
In Cheyenne, Miss M's Home and Garden has a huge selection of high-quality annuals, tropicals, trees, and shrubs. Miss M's, State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville. Closed Easter.
Wow, Galaxy Concrete Coatings did an amazing job on my concrete utility room floor in the basement. It was dirty in there, cracked. Lots of rust and stains. Galaxy Concrete Coatings came in little as a day. My Galaxy utility room floor in my basement is out of this world. They did such a great job on my garage floor that I had to get one for my basement. So they can do your garage, basement, pool deck, any indoor or outdoor area concrete. If you're looking for a fresh coating for the summer that'll last for a lifetime, they got a lifetime warranty. Check out their website, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
Indiana patients rely on many types of pharmacies to access their medications and critical healthcare services. But a proposal being considered in the Indiana legislature called SB 140 would disrupt access to medications for Indiana patients. SB 140 would impose government mandates blocking access to critical pharmacy options and services in Indiana. Lost access to pharmacy options would directly harm many of Indiana's most vulnerable patients, including patients fighting cancer and heart disease, many of whom rely on specialty pharmacies for their care. SB 140 would even hike costs for Indiana patients by imposing a $10 tax on every prescription filled in the state. That would often fall directly on the patient. Tell your state legislator, protect access to medications, reject higher costs. Put Indiana patients first by voting no on SB 140, paid for by conservatives for lower healthcare costs.
For over 20 years, Howard Bailey Financial has been helping families just like yours gain clarity, confidence, and purpose with personal and practical financial strategies. And now, we're offering our full suite of services on Rangeline Road, right in the heart of Carmel, making it even easier to meet with our experienced team face-to-face. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating life transitions, or just need guidance for your financial future, we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Text CARMEL to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement resource. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity.
So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Through June 23rd, get 400 megabit Xfinity Internet with free equipment and unlimited internet data. Plus, get one unlimited 5G mobile line included, all for $40 a month for 1 year. And ask how you can get a free 5G phone. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply with paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Xfinity Internet required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year, rate increases to $70 per month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual fees vary and not guaranteed.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Damman's Garden Center West on Rockville Road.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So this woman named Gayle King is best known for being Oprah's best friend. But I guess, yeah, she's a journalist for CBS as well. I'll always know her. She'll always be in my heart as Oprah's best friend.
It's Oprah's bestie.
Oh, Oprah put her on the map. But she was one of the chicks that were up in the rocket, up in Jeff Bezos' rocket a couple of days ago. It's her and Katy Perry and some other people, some other ladies.
I have a question.
But, yes.
Why?
Well, because they're famous and they're women.
Oh, okay. I thought this had some scientific reason or something of note.
No, I think
they're rich enough to take a vacation to space.
I mean, Bezos wanted some free publicity. These things are expensive, hundreds of thousands of dollars, unless you're a celebrity, and then you get to go up there and check it out for free. I'll admit it looks kind of cool. I don't know that I'd do it even if I had a free chance to do it, just because, the whole rockets. I don't want to go in a rocket. You know,
especially one that looks like a wiener. Now maybe that's Katy Perry's wheelhouse.
So my whole point is this: Gayle King is a little offended because people are making negative comments about her space ride that she took earlier in the week. And she's actually taking offense to the word ride. It wasn't just a ride. Here's what she had to say to TMZ.
I really resent that people are calling it a ride. We duplicated the trajectory of Alan Shepard's flight back in the day. No one called that a ride. A ride sounds frivolous. It sounds insignificant. This was a bona fide flight. So, I say, have you been to space? Have you seen what Blue Origin does to get these machines up, get them up and get them down with the precision that they do?
Yes.
I'm sorry there are haters. There's always going to be haters.
It was a ride. It was 10 minutes. They lifted off in this big giant crank. They went up to the border of the atmosphere.
Right. It's in the atmosphere. You're technically in space.
It's not like these broads went to moon. And then they came back down. And I love that, like, Gayle King and one of these other female astronauts, whatever you want to call them, started kissing the ground when they got back. How do you think those two people that were stuck in space for like a year and a half felt? Oh, yeah, that's cool. You're kissing the ground after 10 minutes. We were stuck at the International Space Station for damn near 2 years.
Man.
Biden told us, have a nice life. I hope you get rescued.
Do you guys, Allison, do you know who Emily Ratajkowski is?
Ratajkowski?
I
think she's a model.
She's a pretty hot model, but she's very woke, very left-wing progressive, and she took to social media to speak her mind about this quote-unquote ride and or flight.
At the space mission this morning, this is beyond parody. Saying that you care about Mother Earth and you're going up in a spaceship that is built and paid for by a company that's single-handedly destroying the planet. Look at the state of the world and think about how many resources went into putting these women into space. For what? I'm disgusted.
Wow.
Emily Ratajkowski, voice of reason. This is kind of like when the angry red-shirted teachers went to the State House, right? Like, they wanted this stupid, no-good, rotten version of the SB 1 bill to be defeated. So did we, but for different reasons. Ratajkowski thinks this is dumb, but for different reasons. I still think I should give her a Predator-style high five.
I don't know about the high five with her, especially said like Jeff Bezos is single-handedly destroying the Earth. I mean, hyperbole much, Emily? I mean, I realize
at least
you're
she
a
didn't
model.
say Trump. I'm surprised this whole thing wasn't Trump's fault. I can't believe we wasted money on a private space mission. Yeah. I don't know how, but I bet this is Donald Trump's fault. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. If spring cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading, this is the month to do it. Freshen up your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big during Universal Windows Direct's Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, it's their classic fan favorite offer. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And for a limited time, Universal Windows Direct is also offering no interest until 2030. That's right, upgrade your home today and don't pay a cent in interest for 6 whole years. And here's the real spring surprise. Get a bonus $500 off your home improvement project. There's never been a better time to bundle and save with Universal Windows Direct. Some restrictions may apply, so call today, 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Get all the information and schedule your totally free in-home estimate. And see everything for yourself on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yeah, the Hammer and Nigel show, throwing a big party, broadcasting live from Coach's Tavern downtown on Pennsylvania. Friday, April 18th. It's Beer Sample Friday. Going to be featuring some local brews from Metazoa Brewing.
Hoppopotamus, an American IPA with a citrus aroma. You guys are going to love it. Plus, we're going to be there. We got swag to give away. We're going to have a good time. Cold beer, great food. Join us at Coach's Tavern. Friday, April 18th, starting at 3 p.m. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show live.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Making you safer is the goal, says the sheriff. You could have some rough weather coming Friday and Saturday, but you can savor the sun this afternoon. It's 55 downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. It was mostly meth dealers taken down this morning. Ryan Hedrick describes the scene in several cities.
A SWAT truck rolling into a central Indiana neighborhood while kids were getting on a school bus. That happened Wednesday, and Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess says it was a part of a series of raids that happened in multiple cities.
Ultimately, all of us in law enforcement want people in Johnson County to feel safe, and that is my number one goal.
Burgess says a total of 45 warrants were being served.
Everybody has cooperated. As we had one team getting ready to go to a house, a gentleman in Franklin simply walked out.
Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A federal judge says he has found probable cause to hold the Trump administration in contempt for failing to return 2 planes deporting immigrants to El Salvador last month. Fox's Rich Edson has more from D.C.
U.S. District Judge James Boasberg says he has given Trump administration officials ample opportunity to explain their actions and that their responses have been unsatisfactory. He writes in this order, quote, "The court ultimately determines that the government's actions on that day demonstrate a willful disregard for its order, sufficient for the court to conclude that probable cause exists to find the government in criminal contempt." This is all over the administration's failure to return planes that left for El Salvador full of alleged gang members in mid-March. Boasberg says if the Justice Department refuses to answer his next questions, he will refer the matter for prosecution.
This is about autism. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. vows to tackle the explosion of autism rates among children. Fox's Jeff Manasso has more.
Early studies of autism rates were about 1 in 5,000 children in the 1960s to 1 in 31 in 2022. According to the latest CDC report, with autism rates even higher among boys at 1 in 20.
These are children who should not be suffering like this. These are kids who, many of them were fully functional and regressed because of some environmental exposure.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. commissioning a series of studies into whether mold, pesticides, food chemicals, medicines, or ultrasound technology are to blame. He's promised to identify the root cause of autism by September. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
WIBC News will have more about this at 4. Traffic and weather coming up.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. MOSS, mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Kennet sent you.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
Yeah, Chris, southbound 65 is slow 29 to Meridian Bend. Eastbound 70 now delayed by 6 minutes from Belmont into the South Split. Crash Fall Creek Parkway at Evanston. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week is Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, Pollock, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expecting mostly clear and chilly Wednesday night with lows in the low 40s. Then we're in for a warmer and breezy Thursday with some showers in the mix in the afternoon and evening hours. Highs will be the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
I'm IndyCar driver Graham Rahal, and you're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Shut up and drive.
I love it. Graham Rahal, part of Tales from the Track. Those tickets on sale now. Monday, May 19th at the Rahal Performance Center in Zionsville, all presented by our good friends at Relay, Indiana. This is going to be a true Indy 500 experience. Especially, not only do we have an IndyCar superstar that we'll be interviewing and asking questions, people will be able to ask questions for about, I don't know, that portion takes about half hour, 45 minutes or so.
Right.
You'll be able to get your picture taken with them and then tour the facility.
The facility is amazing.
All these, $8 million cars and Ducatis, and this, it's just phenomenal. This is, we've had some really, really good Tales from the Track experiences with some phenomenal drivers. But we go back. We have a history with Graham Rahal.
Right. He's a dude, man. He's been fun with us. We have a great time, and if you buy tickets to this event, you will get your money's worth.
It's an experience. Jack Daniels, by the way, partnering as well.
So for your price of admission, you get to go to the Rahal Performance Center in Zionsville. Again, you're going to walk in this place, and it's like you're on the set of the Fast and Furious. That's what all of these cars around look like. And then you're going to get like a private behind-the-scenes, like, look at what's going on in his garages back there. And a meet and greet. He's going to mingle with everybody, take pictures, and a buffet, cash bar after you get your drink tickets done, because I know my drink tickets always go fast. This is a really cool event, and it's on sale right now. It kicks off race week. So this is Monday, May 19th. It kicks off race week, and if you've ever gone to this event before, you know how fun these are.
It's an experience. By the way, just side note, since it's in Zionsville, can you just drop me off on your way home?
Why do I always have to drive you? Every time we have a live show, hey, Hammer, you mind if I get a ride with you?
Now, I will.
Is Graham going to take you home that night, Nigel?
Ooh, that's actually a good idea.
A live stream with Graham driving drunk Nigel
I'm
home?
going to put him on the spot, just like I did with Rob Kendall. Just like I did with Rob Kendall after we did our bowling event. I'm going to ask Graham Rahal, hey, look, on your way home, I don't know where he lives.
Narrator, Graham said no.
Hey, Graham, I caught this cool bit. I'm going to live stream us you driving me home.
Now, here's the kicker. I'm going to be hammered. Yeah, I'll take a rain check on that, Nige.
Maybe next time. What was your name?
But, like, you look at some of the photos of these cars. Like, you're talking about Porsches, Ferraris. When I took the tour of the facility a couple weeks ago, they were working on a car in the back that cost $8 million. I'm afraid to even walk by that car that cost $8 million.
I couldn't even look at it.
Right?
I'd do something to hurt it or scratch it.
So, guys, here's what you do. If you're fresh off a divorce or if you're single, you go to this event. You get your picture next to one of these cars. That's your Tinder profile picture right there.
That's a great idea.
I used to drive this, but I lost it in the divorce, But I'm telling you, if you know anybody in your family that considers themselves a car person, if they love cars, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your dad, maybe it's your kids, this is the event. And if you love the Indy 500 like I do, it really is my favorite event of the year. What a way to kick off the month of May. And this sells out every year, Nige.
It sells out every year, so be quick about it, WIBC.com. And especially if you're a Rahal, if you love the name Rahal. I mean, Rahal, people love the team, Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan. I mean, it's a major event that this is taking place. It's an experience, and I think you got to go. I think you got to come party with us.
We've never held this event in a place like this.
True.
Where it's just wall to wall, just the best that the automotive industry has to offer. So get those tickets right now. Again, we don't sell a lot of tickets. We want this to be like an intimate bucket list type of thing. Yeah. So buy your tickets now, WIBC.com. It's also on our Facebook and our Twitter. So if you just want to follow us on social media, click on the link. It's right there. Bada bang, bada boom. You may have heard in the news earlier, a lot of arrests and raids happening around central Indy. At least 25 people were arrested during Johnson County drug busts. Johnson! Looks like officers are trying to find meth dealers, and they're going undercover, and, apparently it's so easy, or meth dealers are incredibly stupid. They're willing to sell drugs to just about anybody. So these officers have been going undercover. Hey, bud, got some meth? Sure do. You're under arrest. Well, now, I'm sure it's a little bit more complicated than that.
It's not as smooth as probably you would have people seem with your description there.
In theory, that's what was taking place here. At least 45 warrants were served in Edinburgh, Franklin, Greenwood, and here in Indy in connection with this big sweep. Did you see this earlier today? The Department of Justice is suing the state of Maine. Why? This is because the state of Maine likes to be Johnny Tough Guy, and despite orders from the White House, they still have dudes competing against women in their sports in school. Now, the Attorney General, Pam Batty, as I call her, because she's kind of a baddie, Pam Bondi, she spoke earlier today and laid out what this was all about.
Today, the Department of Justice is announcing a civil lawsuit against the Maine Department of Education. The state of Maine is discriminating against women by failing to protect women in women's sports. Pretty basic stuff. This is a violation of Title IX. The Department of Justice will not sit by when women are discriminated against in sports. This is about sports. This is also about these young women's personal safety. I've met many of these women throughout the past weeks and months, and what they have been through is horrific.
Yeah, these dudes pretending to be chicks get on these teams, beat the crap out of these women, and then they get to creep on them in the locker room afterwards.
And something they said in this presser earlier was really important. Like maybe a year or two ago, you could make the argument of, it's just a few isolated cases. Why are you guys making such a big deal? That's not the case anymore.
And one is too many. I'm sorry. It's just a few. Whatever. Just like those idiots in Colorado. Oh, there's only a few apartment complexes that were overtaken by Venezuelan gangs.
It's a great point.
No. One is too many, sweetie.
And this press conference today, what a lineup of badass women. You have Pam Bondi up there. You have Riley Gaines, who's standing up on the stage. She's kind of become the face of protecting women's sports.
Friend of the show.
And then you have Linda McMahon coming up there talking about how the Department of Education, the little bit that's still left, is behind this lawsuit going after Maine. Like the only thing you're missing to have like a female NWO is maybe like Rhea Ripley or like some badass chick like Amanda Nunes from the UFC. You put them up there, they could fight crime, and I would follow those women anywhere, man.
All right.
And go back a few weeks, Nige.
Yeah.
This all started when there was a little event that Donald Trump was speaking at, and
there's a governor's luncheon there at the White House.
Yeah, Governor Braun was there. Yeah. He told us about this, and the governor of Maine was getting a little mouthy.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Well, I'm here.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
I'll see you in court, to which Pam Bondi said, don't threaten me with a good time. Here it comes. We like good covers.
Oh, man.
Cover songs on this show, right?
Great. Sure.
I'm a sucker for a good cover song. One of my favorite songs is Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. I like his voice. It's kind of raspy. It sounds like a real country song.
We'll
right?
be here, I believe, in August, by the way, up in, I think Noblesville, But yeah, I've seen Chris Stapleton live in concert. He's killer.
I thought he did an awesome national anthem at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. If you remember, he got up there with the guitar and just nailed it. Here is rapper T-Pain covering the Chris Stapleton classic, Tennessee Whiskey, at the big Coachella Music Festival.
Tennessee whiskey. Oh, maybe you're a sweet
T-Pain.
Strawberry wine.
This is the same guy that wrote I'm Sprung.
Okay, you can stop that.
Buy you a drink. Shorty, what you think?
So let me ask you this, Nigel. Let's say you're somebody that just plopped down $700 for Coachella tickets, and T-Pain is up next, and you're a big T-Pain fan. You want to hear the hits. You want to hear Buy You a Drink. You want to hear all of that, right? And you get him doing a cover of Tennessee Whiskey real slow with auto-tune.
Well, I mean, auto-tune's his thing, too. I mean, that's kind of what he's known for.
That's what the T stands for, tune.
Tune Pain. As long as it's just kind of a one-off and he gets all his... I mean, that's a hit song, too, in its own right. I don't know that if I was a hardcore T-Pain... I don't know. I've never been to a T-Pain concert before, but I did know he had a good voice.
You've never been to a T-Pain concert. I'm shocked, Nige. You look like the kind of guy that's been to several.
But, yeah, that's where I was stunned when I say, the same guy, I'm Sprung and Buy You a Drink, was covering Tennessee Whiskey at Coachella. Okay, I'm done with it. Hey, look, given the troubles with the stock market today, your Social Security income becomes a lot more important when you're talking about retirement, and that's why it's critical you make a smart decision. Don't leave any money on the table. Squeeze every nickel out of your benefits. You need to know how, though. You need to figure out the right way to go about that with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Bill Demery is my retirement guy. And he should be your retirement guy because he explains things in a way that everybody can understand. And the analysis he gives you tells you how and when you can get the most from your Social Security income. So if you've saved more than $200,000, but you've not yet filed for Social Security, call Bill Demery right now. He will walk you through it all. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120.
That's are us. When dreams don't end, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't end, that's are us.
Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing for everyone on most new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Navigator MSRP $105,575, Nautilus MSRP $61,995, Corsair MSRP $47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Potential cannot be measured, and it can't be taken away from you either. You never know how strong you are, how capable, and how amazing you really are until you face a challenge. Our Franciscan Health orthopedic teams guide the steps you take to overcome life's hurdles. Be ready for the high fives, the constant encouragement and care plans designed for only you that help you realize your extraordinary potential. Learn more at franciscanhealth.org/orthocare.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Damon's Garden Center West has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Damon's West on Rockville Road.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
Addiction doesn't just affect one person, it touches everyone around them. That's why Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick created the Supporting Sobriety podcast. It's for the friends and family standing behind, offering hope, guidance, and real talk. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up? Matt Baer.
Crash. Emerson Avenue is 16th on the east side. Inbound 65, 6-minute delay, MLK to the north split. Eastbound 77-minute delay from Tibbs Avenue into the south split. South side, eastbound 465 slow from Man Road past I-69. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
58 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, and crank up that booze news.
You set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. One by one.
We are gonna read booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Hammer and Nigel present
Booze news, booze news. Time for booze news. So, a lady was arrested after she pooped in a store's walk-in beer cooler in Pennsylvania. That's
Is that wrong?
That's the headline.
Should she not have done that?
I gotta plead ignorance. If I would have known it was wrong to take a number 2 in the convenience store's walk-in beer fridge, I would have never done it. It's this woman, by the way. She's 47 years old. She works for the school district. She's director of food and nutrition at the Southeast Pennsylvania School District, arrested for pooping in the beer cooler.
Boy, she must have been eating some really nutritious food that she could not hold it.
It happened at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, maybe she couldn't find a bathroom. Maybe it was a photo finish and she couldn't find the restroom, Nige.
Does that make it okay?
Oh, hold on.
Does that make it okay?
I'm reading the story. The bathroom in this place is right next to the beer cave.
Okay.
Well, hell.
Maybe she just got confused, or maybe she was drunk off her ass. Maybe she was crap-faced.
Hi-oh! Whack, whack, whack. Yeah, and here's what I don't understand. I'm reading the police report. The people at the store didn't call the police until 9:30 a.m. the next day.
Well, maybe they didn't see it. I mean, it's in the refrigerator. Maybe they didn't smell it.
How do you not see some chick going into the beer cellar, taking down her panties and dropping a deuce?
I'm just saying, maybe there are other people in the convenience store.
Somebody didn't say anything? Do you guys always have a woman pooping in the beer cooler? I just want a case of Miller Lite, but there's a woman back there. I think she works at my son's school.
I recognize her.
Dropping trow, leaving a growler. All right, coming up here in just a few minutes, one of our favorites, Elizabeth Pipco. She is a former national spokeswoman for the GOP. She is very outspoken when it comes to the anti-Semitism issues you see across this country. She's awesome. She's a fireball. She's next. Hammer here for my friends at Diamonds Direct, and April is the perfect time to go to Diamonds Direct. Whether it's an engagement, anniversary, something for your mom, maybe you want that home run gift for your graduate, Prom season is here right now. You can get it all at Diamonds Direct. Niv's the general manager. He's awesome. Chris is a saleswoman. She always takes care of me. You get free cleanings and lifetime upgrades. It's right there by Keystone at the Crossing by that green bridge. Diamonds Direct. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower. Future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Hi, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden in Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Our stores are blooming with flowers, hanging baskets, bedding plants, perennials, annual containers, shrubs, trees, and much more. With so many colors and varieties, it's the best looking selection you'll find anywhere. Come see the difference. Why, you ask? Our plants are from top quality Midwest growers, many right here in Indianapolis. Check the specials on our patio furniture like all-weather wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. You can even choose your own custom cushions on most sets. We specialize in excellent quality mid-price patio furniture that's in stock at our 37,000 square foot warehouse, all priced at 30% off. See our large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and the Big Green Egg. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Is your well water pressure low? Tasting a little off? A neglected well can lead to costly repairs. But C&J's got you covered with their well cleanout service and 6-point inspection. It's the lowest price of the year, and C&J will even throw in a free well cap just to convince you that it's that necessary to keep your water source reliable. Your family deserves the purest, safest water straight from your own well. Schedule your well clean out with C&J. Great systems and great people too. 317-852-WELL.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT. Kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
After the White House did not obey his previous order to return deportation flights bound for El Salvador.
The Constitution does not tolerate willful disobedience of judicial orders, D.C. federal judge James Boasberg writes in an opinion finding probable cause to hold members of the Trump administration in criminal contempt. Last month, Boasberg ordered deportation flights of suspected gang members to be turned around. The administration argued that order came after aircraft were out of U.S. territory. Since then, the judge has asked Justice Department attorneys for specifics about those flights and writes none of their responses has been satisfactory. The administration can purge itself of contempt, Boasberg says, by answering more questions by April 23rd. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Many Democrats are rallying to the cause of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He's an immigrant who was living in Maryland when he was mistakenly deported to El Salvador by the Trump administration. Senator Chris Van Hollen is now in the Central American country on Abrego Garcia's behalf.
As I've said before, the goal of my visit is to talk to people here about the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I told his wife and his family I would do everything possible to bring him home, and we're going to keep working at this until we're successful.
Maryland Senator posting on X saying Abrego Garcia was illegally abducted. He also met with El Salvador's vice president today. The Trump administration, however, insisting he's a member of MS-13.
So we got rid of a dangerous person, an El Salvadoran national, was returned to the country of El Salvador, so he's home. We removed him from the United States. He's a public safety threat. That's exactly what should have happened.
Orders are Tom Homan. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A League of Extraordinary Students. An absolutely clear radar this afternoon. Sunny downtown and everywhere else. It's 56. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02.
Ryan Riddlesberger, Purdue University. Elijah Roberson, Franklin College. Jovi Taylor.
The names of interns for the Indiana Senate from around the state called this afternoon to thank them for their work during this year's legislative session. Senator Travis Holdman of Markle with some special thanks.
We had a member of our staff who had some tough times financially, and one of these interns took a collection from all the other interns to help out that member of the staff to get him out of trouble.
Scholarships were awarded to a select few. If you've been following the bill that would require jailers and sheriffs to turn in to customs enforcement people booked into jail they believe are here illegally, that bill was sent to the governor to be signed into law. Democrats mostly opposed the bill, while Republicans were for it in general. An ambulance hit two kids riding bikes in Terre Haute Tuesday night. The crash happened about 7:15 at the intersection of 13th Street and Wheeler Avenue. By the time more paramedics and police got to the scene, the people in the ambulance that hit the children were trying to help. One of the kids died, say police. The other was taken to the hospital via medical helicopter. That child has life-threatening injuries. Police say the ambulance was on its way to a crash when that crash happened. You've probably heard autism rates are rising in Indiana and America, but one national leader says calling it an epidemic does more harm than good. Ryan Hedrick reports.
I think it's important to recognize that individuals with autism are human beings, and they deserve that dignity and respect.
Chris Banks, president and CEO of the Autism Society of America, which has affiliates in Indiana, says when it comes to calling the disorder an epidemic,
it doesn't have any of the characteristics of things that one would consider part of an epidemic.
And Banks says April is Autism Awareness Month, so it's a good time to learn the facts about autism. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You've got traffic and weather coming up.
Spring selling season is here. Rates are down. Activity is up. Now is the best time in years to sell your home. However, some homes are sitting on the market. Hiring an expert who can maximize equity and minimize hassle is the key. That expert agent I recommend to sell your home is Mark Dietl. Maybe you want a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Tim and Becky in Bargersville had to say about working with Mark Dietl. We're ready to downsize. We tried the big national instant offer route and got jerked around because that company canceled the sale a week before closing. We called Mark Dietl to step in and help, and his team delivered big. We had multiple offers in 4 days, and we sold as is for the price we needed. Call a local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com. Tell him Rob sent you.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
Yeah, Chris, stall on the exit from northbound 6572 Washington Street. The ramp is open. It is partially blocked. Inbound 65 stop and go traffic from MLK, a little before, in fact, down to Meridian Penn, delay at 10 minutes. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic from Belmont into the South Split for a 15-minute delay. And a crash Emerson Avenue at 16th Street. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expecting mostly clear and chilly Wednesday night with lows in the low 40s. Then we're in for a warmer and breezy Thursday with some showers in the mix in the afternoon and evening hours. Highs will be the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
She's one of our favorites. She's been on with us a couple of times. She's the former national GOP spokeswoman. She is a proud American, Jewish activist. She's got a great backstory. Elizabeth Pipco joins us. Welcome back to the Hammer and Nigel Show. Elizabeth, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back.
Elizabeth, we were talking about this a little bit earlier in the show, how it's funny when there's a pro-Palestinian or pro-Hamas lunatic that does something, that story doesn't have a very long shelf life in the media. But if it's somebody wearing a MAGA hat, hot damn, the press is in front of their house, it seems like for a couple of weeks in a row. What are your thoughts on what you're seeing from the media and the way they're covering these continuing anti-Semitic attacks like we're seeing against the governor of Pennsylvania?
Yeah, look, I mean, for me, unfortunately, or maybe even fortunately, from my time spent working for President Trump, I learned everything I needed to learn about the media very early on. I remember in 2016 seeing stories about our campaign and reading them while physically sitting in our campaign office, realizing that nothing that was being reported on was true. Then when I started building my own platform, I realized that, people were lying about me the same way they had lied about the president. And I realized not only how much power our media has, but also how easy it is for them to get away with literally whatever they want. And I think it's super unfortunate, obviously, because what they're doing is, a personal attack against Donald Trump or anyone that they disagree with politically. But they're also harming this country in the process, because not only is there, I think, the lowest probably approval rating in history for our media, but there's also a bunch of Americans who now hate their neighbors and their teachers and, former friends because they voted differently because of what the media tells them about these people. So I think they're doing a serious disservice to their own industry, to our country, and it's been disgraceful to watch. But I think with the results of the last election, we realized more and more people have woken up to what's been going on.
And I hope you're right. I absolutely hope you're right. But I still see these stories from like the campus of Columbia and Harvard, where they're not willing to cooperate with just not being anti-Semitic pieces of trash. And these college kids and many of these college professors and faculty members, they're lockstep with some of these activists.
They are, and they're doing that because they believe they can get away with it, because they believe, like the Democrat Party accidentally, I guess, believed that because certain voices were the loudest on Twitter, that was the majority. Obviously, we know that that's not the case, but the fact is, it's what you said. When the media is on your side, it's very hard for people to actually see what they're doing and how dangerous their actions are. The fact is, most people in these universities believe that they're doing the right thing because the media covers up for them. You mentioned what happened with Governor Shapiro's residence. I knew immediately that it was not a Trump supporter or anyone on the right that was involved, because when they had reported on the story, they did not want to report on who was the culprit. So I very quickly realized what was going on, just like we unfortunately have learned. It's a pattern here that we can pick up. The same thing happens with these universities. It happens with these riots and protests. The fact is, if people are protesting and burning the American flag, every single journalist on the right or on the left or in the middle should be reporting on it so that the country can see what's going on. And they're not, because they support it and because it is against Donald Trump. Unfortunately, this is no longer even Democrats and Republicans. It's pro-Trump and anti-Trump, and a lot of people who believe they have power because they can publish some words on the internet to tell people how they feel about how they voted in the last election. And the fact is, it's only to the detriment of this country, but I know the American people see right through it.
And you mentioned the word pattern. And we can move past this, and we could move on after this. But I mean, I noticed a pattern of left-wingers trying to assassinate Brett Kavanaugh, Supreme Court Justice, trans left-wingers shooting up Christian schools, left-wingers attempting Trump's an attempt on Trump's life twice. The governor of Pennsylvania. I mean, could you imagine if the media covered this, if right-wingers had done this? I mean, I counted like 4 times just there the things that I rattled off. It'd be a totally different story.
100%. Look, I remember when Donald Trump was shot in the head.
Yes.
And people wanted to stop talking about it as soon as they possibly could. The fact is, if this person was wearing a MAGA hat as he went to the governor's residence, it would be the only thing plastered on every single news program going on, not just in our country, but around the world. Luckily, that's not what happened. It was horrible no matter what. And the fact is, you should be able to report the news without your own bias. If not, you are in the wrong industry. It is that simple.
Elizabeth Pipco is our guest. Elizabeth, when you look at the current state of Democrats right now, I don't think they have a face of the party. We know who the face of the Republican Party is. Even when Donald Trump wasn't the president, during the Biden years, everybody knew who the face of the Republican Party was. I see a party right now that's trying to lift up on a pedestal murderers of healthcare executives, people that are burning down residences of governors, some of the most despicable MS-13 gang members. These are heroes to the political left, and I don't see any face of the party trying to say, whoa, 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 let's pump the brakes here a little bit.
I could not agree more. It's almost funny at this point. The only face that they have is Donald Trump's face, because all that they have that unites them is a hatred for Donald Trump.
Yes.
Right? They not only don't have a face, they don't have a movement, they don't have a platform. Even when President Trump is done with his term in the White House, the MAGA movement will still live on. We will still know what it was that rallied us against this one man, brought out Republicans in droves to vote for him, and that majority of this country actually stands for and believes in. Democrats have no idea what they stand for because they forgot to do their jobs, right? Ever since Donald Trump ran in 2015, Democrats actually abandoned their posts. They forgot that they were put into these positions of power to answer to their constituents, and all they did was try to find ways to mess with Donald Trump, to attack Donald Trump, to attack his supporters, as well to campaign against Donald Trump, to profit off of their hatred for Donald Trump. It is almost funny that they have forgotten anything else to have on their platforms. The only thing is how they can profit off of their hatred for Donald Trump and anything that he does. So not only do they have nothing going on but that, when Donald Trump is out of office, they won't even have someone to attack. They do not have anything to embrace. They don't have anything to unite their supporters around. And I'm actually shocked, truly, as someone who wants the country to do well, to see the party, the once great party of JFK, turn into this. It's actually a really, really embarrassing and sad sight.
It does seem like the Democrats, the far left-wing progressive faction of the Democrats, are at least trying. What do you think of these rallies with AOC and Bernie Sanders? They do seem to be attracting decent crowds. When I see these crowds, I kind of look at it this way. I say, oh, those are the socialist, Marxist, communists that live in those areas. What do you think of these? I don't know what you call these anti-Trump rallies in the first few months of Donald Trump's second term here. What do you think of AOC and Bernie Sanders and these rallies?
Well, a few things. Number one, you're right. These are the ultra-left people in our country, this like ultra-left progressive faction of the Democrat Party, the Marxists, the communists, the socialists, whatever they love being called. That's what they are. The fact is, no one has really been able on the Democrat side to fill an arena since Barack Obama, except for Bernie Sanders. So I think it's interesting because for all the Democrats that tried to get rid of him in 2016 and obviously gave their nomination to Hillary Clinton thinking it would work, they now are back to square one, right? It's almost like we're back in 2016. They don't have anyone again, A. And B, I think it's great because so many Democrats have tried to separate themselves from this part of the party, to say that this is a tiny, fringe movement in the party, those that support Hamas, those that consider themselves proud socialists. They're saying these are not Democrats. And now all we're seeing is the only Democrat that can actually fill an arena and get their voters out and ready is this far left, pro-Hamas, pro-socialism, pro-communism, pro-Marxist faction of the party. And I am hoping that the whole country and the whole world is actually seeing exactly what's happening. Donald Trump fills an arena with thousands of people waving American flags, and Bernie Sanders fills maybe a smaller arena with a bunch of people who want to burn American flags. And I want everyone to keep their eyes open to exactly what's happening.
Elizabeth, last thing here before we let you go. What's your response when you hear some of these kids on college campuses, whether it's Columbia, whether it's Harvard, whether it's here at IU, Indiana, down in Bloomington here, when they say, when it comes to this war between Israel and Hamas, Israel is just as much to blame. Part of this is their fault. Both people are equal in this, and I don't think the United States should fund any part of this. When you hear that argument, what do you think?
Well, the funding of foreign wars, I think, is a very deep conversation and should be taken case by case, obviously. At the same time, there's so much to be said about what's going on in the Middle East. The fact is Israel is one of our strongest allies simply because they are surrounded not only by their own enemies, but by our enemies as well. So the whole point to funding Israel's fight against these terrorists is so they fight the war and we don't have to. Because if these terrorists win over Israel, if October 7th ends up happening again, they're not going to stop with Israel. They're going to come to our borders and do the same thing here. They don't want to stop at Israel. They want to destroy America as well. So I hope people realize we don't just share victories with Israel. We also share enemies with Israel. And if Israel is successful against these terrorists, we will be successful and safe from these very same enemies.
She's one of our favorites. She's awesome. She's a badass. That's Elizabeth Pipco. Elizabeth, don't be a stranger. We'd love to have you back.
Can't wait. Thank you so much.
You got it. Matt Baer standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center.
Watch out on the east side and stay off Ritter between 10th and 16th. We have police in the area investigating multiple people shot. 3 people shot near 1200 Irvington Avenue with 2 of those victims in critical condition. Chris Davis has more with local news at 4:30 on 93 WIBC. Also on the east side, crash. Emerson Avenue at 16th. Northbound 6570 crash before Washington Street. That's been moved to the shoulder. Still jammed up through the south split to Raymond, and eastbound 70 is Zoo Tibbs Avenue into the south split, and that is going to be a delay of over 40 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And let me just say this one time, and I'm only going to say it once. It's ridiculous I have to. We don't select what commercials play on this radio station. It's not my radio station. Listen, if any candidate wants to buy a crap ton of ads, guess what? That helps the Hammer and Nigel show stay on the air. I get it. Some of you don't like those Braun commercials. But in the past, we've aired a couple commercials maybe that I've disagreed with. But it's not my decision. Okay? We don't get to handpick what ads play. The only thing Nigel and I can do is handpick which companies we want to endorse and be spokesmen for. Other than that, we got nothing for you, okay? Stop sending me mean direct messages. 59 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
If you're investing, you have to be smart. The markets are erratic all over the place, and you need a financial team that's infused with a Hoosier pragmatism that looks at the long game when helping you build your financial portfolio. That is Trajan Wealth, veteran-led and family-owned. Matt Baer here. Hey, Trajan Wealth can grow your investments while protecting them. It's a solid marriage. Call them and find out at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Your first consultation is free. Trajan knows that there's a whole lot more to retirement planning than simply calculating your expenses, and their fiduciary advisors help you design a strategy based on realistic options that align with your dreams and timeline. Call and schedule a consultation at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first consultation is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Are you dealing with foot, knee, hip, or back pain? Well, it sounds like you could use a spring in your step. Hi, this is Phoebe with the Good Feet store, and I've got just the thing to help you spring forward into comfort. Good Feet's unique, patented 3-step arch support system is designed to reduce pressure on your joints to keep you feeling energized all day long, even when you're running on an hour's less sleep. With less pressure on your joints, you'll also experience less pain and discomfort too. When you visit the Good Feet store, we'll take time with you to figure out what you need on your free personalized fitting. You can also take all the time you need to walk in-store to feel the Good Feet difference personalized for your feet, your shoes, and your lifestyle. Most of our customers say they feel relief immediately, and you can too. Make your appointment today at goodfeet.com. Don't just live with the pain. Discover your options and spring into comfort at the Good Feet store. Come in today for your free personalized fitting and test walk. We're in your neighborhood. Visit goodfeet.com to find the location nearest to you.
Look around. Spring is here. And no matter what you're planning or planting, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So spring forward in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. So spring forward, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit Hubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one, you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our home has had Rhino Shield for 10 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Damon's Garden Company South on Emerson Avenue.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Do it.
Nige, is this anything? When Rainn Wilson of The Office was on a podcast recently, he sang what he claims are the lyrics to the theme song from The Office.
He played Dwight, I believe.
And it feels like he was channeling his character here. Here he is with his lyrics.
The Office, a show about a boss. Mostly it's a show about Dwight. Show is a lot of fun. Mostly Dwight's a lot of fun. Remember Stanley. Mostly I remember Dwight. Krasinski's manly. No one wants a bobblehead of Jim. Let's face it, it's a show about Dwight. Let's get real.
I can't believe, that's something. I thought that was funny, and I love The Office, and I loved that version of The Office. I've never seen the original version, which is the UK version. Ricky Gervais plays Michael Scott's character. You've never seen an entire episode of The Office once?
I have
ever?
not. Not because I'm against it or I think it sucks. I've just never gotten around to it.
It's another one of those things where
I've seen every season of Cobra Kai before one episode of The Office.
I would choose Seinfeld, 99 out of 100 times if I, wanted something on in the background, just if I'm doing housework or laundry or something. But I would, The Office is second to none. I mean, it's real funny, and it's so. Allison, do you think when Michael Scott left and it was like a cavalcade of like Will Ferrell and some of the other special guests, do you think it was still as funny? Because I do. I think it was consistently funny throughout the entire.
Wasn't James Spader a part of it?
James Spader, yes. Steph from Pretty in Pink, Molly Ringwald's nemesis.
I think they were struggling a little bit at the beginning to kind of find their footing, but once they got back on track, I thought it was fun until the end.
Yeah, I thought from beginning to end that was consistently funny and a great fake theme song.
Yes. Too. Which brings us to great moments in made-up lyrics history. In the movie Ted 2, the Seth MacFarlane film about the talking teddy bear.
Yeah.
Ted and Mark Wahlberg's character, they came up with their own lyrics to the Law and Order theme.
Let's all go to court. Let's go make some law now. Yeah, some law. Hey, you lawyer guys, you don't know me and Johnny are watching you while we're high.
That felt really smooth. So in the pocket.
Great moments in made-up lyrics history. This one's going to take you back.
All right.
1996. There was a movie called My Fellow Americans. Jack Lemmon and James Garner were like former presidents that were on the lam, and they each had their own lyrics for Hail to the Chief.
Hail to the chief, he's the chief and he needs hailing. He is the chief, so everybody hail like crazy. Hail to, that's more or less.
Hail to the chief, if you don't, I'll have to kill you. I am the chief, so you better watch your step, you bastards.
Love it. James Garner. Wow.
And last but certainly not least, my lyrics to Sanford and Son. Allison? Here we go. Here comes Sanford. Here comes Sanford and his son. Here comes Sanford. Here comes Sanford and his son. And they have got some junk to sell. Perfect.
I was not expecting a live version. I thought that was recorded, and I think that's better than Rainn Wilson's version of made-up lyrics to The Office, for sure. Congratulations.
Thank you. Is this anything? Now, I need you to pay close attention here because there's a lot of moving parts.
Okay.
A woman who married a river. A woman who legally married a river.
A guy named River?
No, a body of water. She married a river to protect it from pollution. Says it's still a great relationship 2 years after the ceremony, Nige.
Sure.
Meg Avon married the River Avon in England to raise awareness.
She took the river's name.
Of course she did. The river was the man. She's traditional, Nige. Here is Meg talking about their ceremony and being in a relationship with a body of water.
I found it incredibly moving. And as I said on the day, it's so important to be moved. And it was so moving to see you being moved and everyone's tear-stained faces, because when you're moved towards something. And it feels like the campaign was gaining momentum on that day, and it's still moving, as the river is still moving.
I've moved the contents of my bladder into your river that you married. Yes.
If you're married to it, it's called a golden shower then, isn't it?
Oh, goodness gracious.
Good God. All right, last one. Is this anything?
All right.
The Rays and the Red Sox game was delayed yesterday afternoon due to one of the worst sounds you can hear from a sound system. Okay? I've got the sound. Would you like to hear it?
I saw that, yeah. No.
Okay. Hold on.
That one. I understand it, but it's.
Could you imagine? This is the actual sound that was coming from the sound system at the baseball game.
3-1 ball game now.
Oh.
A little buzz in the ballpark, and it's not the fans. And they've
that's bad.
Halted play. Trying to figure out if...
Turn that off. And that goes on and on and on. So they had to ultimately delay the game.
No, thank you. Yeah, that's something, and I would leave the stadium immediately.
Would you rather hear that or Kamala Harris's cackle on a loop? Like if you were at the baseball game.
Give me the cackle.
You'd rather hear the cackle. Allison, crank it up one more time here. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Just a little bit outside. Now we've got a runner on first. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Given the troubles with the current stock market today, your Social Security income becomes a lot more important in retirement. It's critical. You got to make smart decisions. You got to make smart moves. You don't leave any money that's yours on the table. And you can learn how to squeeze every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery. He's your retirement guy here in Indy.
Bill Demery's analysis tells you how and when you could get the most income from your Social Security. It's your money, And he does this while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, even your Medicare premiums. It's definitely worth a phone call. So call Bill Demery right now, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120.
JMV, and come enjoy this beautiful spring weather at Miss M's Home and Garden in Bargersville. The Garden Center has a huge selection of high-quality annuals, tropicals, trees, and shrubs. The spring blooms are filling up the nursery lot, and the greenhouse has what you need to beautify your porch and landscape. Easter decor is 50% off at the garden shop through April the 19th. Visit Miss M's for all things home and landscape this spring. Miss M's is located on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville. Closed Easter.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Since we opened our doors, UC Bank has been committed to the communities we call home. Building financial wellness, UC is proud to offer customized lending strategies and innovative resources to our vibrant communities. UC Bank, building community one family, one street, one city at a time. Member FDIC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
For the people who broke bad, a crisp, clear, sunny afternoon in central Indiana. You've got possible strong storms coming in Friday and Saturday. It's 56 on Monument Circle right now. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending.
Ultimately, all of us in law enforcement want people in Johnson County to feel safe, and that is my number one goal.
Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess on the 45 warrants served on accused drug dealers all around central Indiana, from Edinburgh to Shelbyville to Martinsville to Indianapolis this morning. Not everyone with a warrant was arrested, though.
And if people have information after we get done doing what we're doing today, and they know where these folks are at, we're going to ask them to call 911 or your local sheriff's office, police department to report that person where they're at.
One child is dead and another is severely injured. They were hit by an ambulance that was on its way to a crash Tuesday night about 7:15 in Terre Haute, say police. It happened at the intersection of 13th Street and Wheeler Avenue. The paramedics inside the TransCare ambulance got out to try and help the kids who were riding bikes when they were hit, but one of them didn't make it. The other was put in a chopper and flown to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. You may have just filed your taxes, or maybe you filed an extension. Either way it goes, you may not be able to file this way anymore.
The IRS Direct File program launched during the Biden administration, but sources tell the Associated Press the Trump administration plans to eliminate the electronic filing system. The program is intended to make it easier to file taxes, but Republican lawmakers argue it's an unnecessary government expense since free tax filing programs already exist. The IRS says it accepted returns from about 141,000 individuals last year using Direct File in the 12 states where it was available. It expanded to additional states this year, but it is not yet clear how many taxpayers used Direct File. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
You've got traffic and weather coming up.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at AdventKnows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, on the east side, westbound 70 after Emerson Avenue crash blocking the right lane. That just happened a few minutes ago. Traffic is starting to back up to Emerson. Also on the east side, watch out for the area around Irvington. This is Ritter Avenue, 16th to 10th. Ritter is shut down in that area because of a police investigation involving multiple people. Shot, avoid if you can. Also a crash Emerson Avenue at 16th. Looking at the north side, eastbound 465 stop-and-go traffic, Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65, 18-minute delay coming in from the White River Bridge to Meridian Bend, and eastbound 70 stop-and-go traffic from Belmont into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic update to WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expecting mostly clear and chilly Wednesday night with lows in the low 40s. Then we're in for a warmer and breezy Thursday with some showers in the mix in the afternoon and evening hours. Highs will be the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The United Kingdom Supreme Court. Voice of reason?
What?
I know. This is kind of weird. The top court in the UK says the legal definition of woman refers to the biological sex. In other words,
what?
Sex is binary.
What kind of sorcery are they talking about?
Man is a man, woman is a woman.
So if you're born with male genitals and male DNA, they're saying you're a male? Okay, this is ridiculous.
Yes,
I can't even I can't even act like to justify this anymore.
And I'm going to throw one on top of it. If you were born with a vag, you're considered a woman. And there's no
You're not making
way
any
around
sense.
it. This is United Kingdom. This is the Supreme Court. I swear to God, the UK, they're weird, man. Like, they'll put you in jail for saying mean stuff on Facebook, but they've always been ahead of the game when it comes to stuff like this. Even back in COVID, they're like, yeah, the little kids don't have to get the vaccinations. In fact, we're putting them back in schools after only a few weeks. They have been on the front end of stopping gender-affirming care for minors.
Right.
So it's but at the same time, again, you say something mean about a transgender person on Facebook, you could be looking at jail time. I don't quite get what's going on over there.
The courts can say it, but you can't say it on Facebook.
Right.
Okay. But isn't it just bizarre how, you know, we're doing like a bit here, like shtick, but it's a hot take that a court says if you're born a male, you're a male.
And if you're born a woman, you're a woman.
That's a hot take in today's society.
It's not in the United Kingdom, not in England, for sure.
Mr. Attorney General for the great state of Indiana, Todd Rokita, please do us the honors of kicking off some legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Nige, there was a guy in Florida who's been taken into custody. He was a 45-year-old man who was arrested after he pushed workers at a Subway, like a Subway sub shop. And then he pulled out a knife, according to the police report.
That's not nice.
The man's name? Ed Cocaine. 45-year-old Ed Cocaine, his real name, was arrested after he pushed the workers at the Brevard County Subway restaurant before pulling out a knife. Deputies said that the man, later identified as Edward Cocaine,
shut up,
went into the restaurant in Merritt Island with another man. Cocaine got into an argument with employees over what he believed were their bad attitudes. And his real name, according to the police report, Edward Cocaine.
I mean, but is it spelled like Koahk? A-N-E, like some weird spelling.
Cocaine. Cocaine.
Come on.
Ed Cocaine.
Oh.
Sounds like a bad 80s wrestler or like the worst supervillain imaginable.
His cousin's name's Burt Methadone. That's...
Now he sounds like a magician in Vegas. The amazing Burt Methadone. He pulls a rabbit out of his crotch. Ed Cocaine. Already in the ring, Ed Cocaine.
I mean, you're
then like
destined...
Hulk Hogan's music hits.
I mean, your real biological name is Ed Cocaine. You're destined for trouble in life, right?
But he didn't get in trouble for cocaine. He got in trouble for whipping out a knife and beating up people at a subway.
Still.
He said their attitudes were bad.
He probably gave him his debit card. Whatever, dude. This is fake. Your name ain't Cocaine.
McLovin? What kind of name is McLovin? Ed Cocaine, Florida man that threatened to stab people in a subway.
Dave Heroin. You could go on and on and on. I've never... There is no way that is his real name, and there is no way Cocaine is a legitimate last name.
Well, I mean, the information
sorry.
he provided, like it listed his full name. He goes by Ed, but his name is Edward Cocaine. He didn't get busted for cocaine, so it's not like it's some sort of, wow, what a coincidence. You know, like if my name were Kenny
Ecstasy,
and I got busted for X, okay. Maybe that's just a clever nickname. Maybe it's like Ocho Cinco, and he changed his name to match the number, or you change your name to match your gimmick. This was Ed Cocaine, but all he did was try to fix the attitudes in that subway in Brevard County.
The name's Cocaine. Edward Cocaine. How may I help you? That's incredible.
According to a new poll on what's something you would never buy, even if it were discounted nearly 100%.
Oh.
61% of Americans say being frugal has become cool.
Yes.
Rob Kendall's been frugal before it was cool.
It was frugal before frugal was cool.
But the question becomes, what's something you would never buy, even if you found it 99.99% off? Here were some of the responses. The nasty fabric toilet seat that grandmas used to have. I don't really...
Oh, man, I love those. I never had, like most toilet seats you sit on are porcelain. A couple of my grandmas had, like, the squishy, foamy stuff. Is that what they're talking about here?
I think so. Now, we've always been traditional, like, white lid folks. Maybe there's something cushiony, but never anything like fabric.
Oh, you're talking about the toilet seat covers. I'm talking about the actual seat that you sit down on. Okay, I see. But my statement still stands.
Okay.
Cushiony, foamy toilet seats, way, way, way better than traditional porcelain seats.
On the list, used underwear.
Porcelain might not even be the right word. No, I'm not buying used underwear. No, even a 99.99% discount.
No.
No.
No. That's a no. That's a negative Ghost Rider. On the list, a get-rich-quick course from a 20-year-old, something on TikTok.
Oh, I hate TikTok.
Like somebody that's got like a Lamborghini in the background. I'm 20 years old. I got a Lamborghini. Bleep you. Like one of those courses. Other things on the list. What's something you'd never buy, even if it were almost free? A trip to see the wreckage of the Titanic.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well for some people.
You know, maybe you just let those people be that are perished in that.
There.
Yeah, maybe just let them
What
be.
about the gas station sushi? I'm looking at gas station sushi on here, and I'll disagree with you on this aspect of there's a mom and pop. I think it's a mom and pop marathon gas station on Michigan Road in Carmel, right before you get to, if you're going south, right before you get to 465. Killer Heroes.
Good.
I mean, killer.
I would never disagree with that. Why would I disagree with that? I'm pro gas station food.
Okay, yeah, just because of the, I don't know, the gas station stereotypical idea of gas station food.
I could write a book on my favorite gas station food, from Get-Go to Get-Go cafes to...
I'm telling you, Get-Go had samples out one day. I was taking spicy chicken and kielbasa, and I filled up. Like, I came out of the Get-Go, and my family was waiting for me. My hands were full of both, like with the little cups, with little ketchup.
You didn't drop
cups.
anything this time, did you? Like the Jameson?
No, I didn't drop the Jameson. If you don't, and for those that you don't know, I had a half gallon of Jameson that I bought at the liquor store, got out of my car, and it dropped right out of my car onto the concrete, shattered, $50 gone.
Now, after the gas station sushi on this list,
yes,
meth. Now, while I agree that you shouldn't buy meth, I love that it came in behind gas station sushi. That's an odd place for that to be on the list. Like,
well, used underwear was number 7.
So people would rather buy meth than used underwear, but they draw the line at gas station sushi.
Meth at a discount.
That's true. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Guys, if you're just feeling kind of off, you're tired all the time, no energy, you got to take action now. Low T Center helps guys like you reclaim that energy and confidence and tackle anything. Go to lowtcenter.com. That's where you need to go to get started with the testosterone replacement therapy, or TRT, and join lots of other guys who are going through the same thing just like you.
Hey, time is a factor. This month only. For the month of April, get a free consultation. That's right, free. So if you're feeling tired and you don't have energy, you're groggy, you've seen weight gain, you're lacking a little confidence, guys, be honest with yourselves. Maybe you want to see if you qualify for some weight loss medication. Low T Center, they can check you and screen you for all of that. All you have to do is set up an appointment. lowtcenter.com. Log on. lowtcenter.com. Simple, quick, and totally worth it. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower. Future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse is now open and ready to serve you. Whether you're buying jewelry or selling jewelry, PA Jewelers has got you covered. One-of-a-kind pieces, vintage pieces. Make an appointment, sit down with them in the buy room, and find out how you can get that special piece made just for you. Easy to get to in Brownsburg. See everything they have to offer in a no-pressure environment. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, now open in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. That's 456-4010. Or online at pajewelers.jewelry. pajewelers.jewelry.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Hammond's Garden Company South has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Hammond South on Emerson Avenue.
Weekday mornings at 7:15, the Tony Katz Popcorn Moment. Brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Don't wait any longer for the kitchen you've been dreaming of. Request a consultation at boerremodeling.com. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
Tired of digging through noise to find real news? Go straight to WIBC.com. Local stories, statewide impact, national headlines, info that matters. When news breaks, WIBC.com is already on it. Stay on the know while you're on the go.
We need 33 awesome, sexy Hoosiers to go to the WIBC YouTube page and give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. We got to get to 100. We are 33 away. So if you hate your property tax plan, you hate the Republicans that have screwed you over, the least you can do is give us a thumbs up. We'll be your mouthpiece. We will be the ones that actually fight for you, unlike everybody else that screws you over. We're all in this thing together here. No. It's not like COVID. We're in this together. We will be the ones that fight, bitch, moan, and complain for you. All we ask is you give us a like on that YouTube stream.
I think we did that during COVID, though, too.
Maybe.
Tad. Just a teensy.
Media superstar. Got a big story out on Channel 13.
Yeah,
Matt
man.
Bear.
All right, fellas, looking at eastbound 70 stop traffic from Tibbs Avenue into the south split, 12-minute delay. Eastbound 465 on the southwest side, stop and go. That's I-70 over to I-69 and again 65 to Emerson Avenue. Inbound 65 stop and go MLK to Meridian Penn. Crash east side, eastbound 70 after Emerson has us backed up to Shadeland. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden this week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Get 30% off all patio furniture. Wicker, Berlin Gardens Poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Can we get you in tomorrow to talk about, you have a weekly segment with us. It's usually on Fridays, but we're going on the road this Friday. Can we get you in tomorrow?
I'm so there, Bubba.
To talk especially about this feature that you were on WTHR, which was awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
So let's plan on that tomorrow sometime.
Okay. All right, I'll be there.
Question number one, how did you get them not to run a hit piece on you asking for a friend?
They said you've been through enough, dude. And then they let me go.
Yeah, let's do that tomorrow, Matt.
Would love it. Would love it.
It's 59 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Allison, cue up the band.
Come on.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My bad. Just a little anxious for the Hammer and Nigel Road Show down at Coach's Tavern downtown Caddy Quarter on Pennsylvania across from Cambridge Fieldhouse. We'll be broadcasting live, and it's Beer Sample Friday. Metazoa Brewing providing the samples, providing the beer, and it's going to be a show.
I'm seeing 77 degrees possibly on Friday. Now, there could be some weather later on in the night.
Don't even mention it. Forget about that.
But between 3 and 7, it's going to be amazing. So we're going to be there. We want you guys to be down there too. If you guys are tired of getting screwed over by these politicians, misery loves company, right? Let's all have some shots. Let's have some drinks. If you feel bad for Nigel, buy him a shot of Jameson at Coach's because he broke his bottle last night before it got in the house. And we're trying to pack that joint. It's Good Friday, so if you have the day off or maybe you can get out early, gather up your friends, come downtown, and we want to see you. YouTube chat. This is your chance. Come on down and bark at us live. Let's do it live. Be down there and hang out with us, man. We are going to have a good time. Adam Eisenberg, Tom Sutton, they always take good care of us down there. And
they took good care of us when we were just like a little rinky-dinky podcast.
Right.
Set up a microphone for an hour once a week.
I can't wait, man. This is going to be fun. We might even bring the celebrity beer bong down. I'm just saying.
What?
There's rumors of an appearance from the celebrity beer bong. That's coming up Friday at Coach's Tavern. Join us.
Yeah, there's lots of real estate agents out there, but really none with the expertise that Mark Dietel has. Nobody else I'd trust with my sale of my home or to even find me a new home than Mark Dietel and his team. Here's what Tim and Becky in Bargersville had to say. They were ready to downsize. They tried the big national instant offer route, and they got jerked around because that company canceled a sale in a week before closing. So they called Mark Dietel. The team stepped in, helped deliver big, had multiple offers in 4 days. They sold as is for the price they needed.
Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time, but call Mark Dietel today. Ask about the guarantee. 317-755-4232, or just go online, markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a D-SNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A D-SNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana D-SNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
What up, fellow Gen Xers? Elizabeth Banks here. As the original Latchkey kids, we took things into our own hands, like house keys and video game controllers. And now it's time for us to do it again, because the recommended age to get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. We're at over 6 times greater risk compared to adults under 50. So go to vaxassist.com and schedule. Gen X, this is our shot. Sponsored by Pfizer.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Matt Bear here. Those heavy spring rains are right around the corner. Make sure you're ready for them with a free roof inspection from my friends at Cochran Exteriors. Notice a musty smell inside your attic, shingles curling, or have a leaky problem area? It's time to get it done. Call Cochran Exteriors for a free, no obligation consultation with options to meet your budget with a lifetime workmanship warranty. Get scheduled now before the spring brush. Visit CochranExteriors.com.
The WIBC mashup is everything you love, from fiery debates to laugh-out-loud takes, all in one podcast. No weak sauce, just the best of the day each weekday. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
A federal flight delay. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. A federal judge says he's found probable cause to hold the Trump administration in contempt for failing to return 2 planes deporting migrants to El Salvador last month. Fox's Rich Edson is at the White House.
U.S. District Judge James Boasberg says he has given Trump administration officials ample opportunity to explain their actions and that their responses have been unsatisfactory. He writes in this order, quote, "The court ultimately determines that the government's actions on that day demonstrate a willful disregard for its order, sufficient sufficient for the court to conclude that probable cause exists to find the government in criminal contempt. This is all over the administration's failure to return planes that left for El Salvador full of alleged gang members in mid-March. Boasberg says if the Justice Department refuses to answer his next questions, he will refer the matter for prosecution.
White House Communications Director Stephen Chung writes on X, quote, "We plan to seek immediate appellate relief. The president is 100% committed to ensuring that terrorists and criminal illegal migrants are no longer a threat to Americans and their communities across the country." Maryland Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen traveling to El Salvador, advocating for Kilmar Abrego Garcia to be returned to the U.S. after being wrongfully detained in Maryland and sent to a migrant detention center. Senator Van Hollen tells the press Abrego Garcia was in the United States legally.
If you listen to President Trump and the Trump administration, you would think that the U.S. courts have found that Mr. Abrego Garcia is part of MS-13, but in fact, they have not found that.
Attorney General Pam Bondi.
ICE testified. An immigration judge ruled he was a member of MS-13. An appellate judge ruled he was a member of MS-13.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Some understanding about the fatal wrecks. A sunny afternoon. Strong storms are possible Friday and Saturday. 41 for the low tonight. It's 58 downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Calls of multiple people shot this afternoon on North Irvington Drive. IMPD says when officers got there, they found 3 victims with injuries consistent with gunshot wounds. That's how they put it. 2 of them were in critical condition. 1 was reported stable. IMPD says they do have a person of interest that has been taken into custody. A fatal wreck this morning in Westfield. John Herrick has the story.
It happened just before 7 o'clock on US 31, just north of 161st Street. Police say a man left the southbound lanes of 31 and drove his car through the grassy median to end up in the northbound lanes and eventually hit a semi. The man in the car died while the driver of the semi is expected to be okay. The northbound lanes of US 31 between 161st and 169th Streets were closed for several hours, but they reopened around 1 o'clock. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
2 children on bicycles hit by an ambulance. One of those children is dead, say Terre Haute police. It happened last night about 7:15. An ambulance that was on its way to a wreck hit the kids. When police got there, paramedics were out trying to save the kids' lives. Both were taken to the hospital. The child who lived was flown to an Indianapolis hospital with severe injuries. The middle school there, Honey Creek, postponed iLearn testing today. On January 25th, 26-year-old Gerald Pryor was shot and killed on East 49th Street on the northeast side of Indy. IMPD now says 19-year-old Alexis Hawkins and 18-year-old Brian Winston Jr. are charged with murder and attempted robbery. Winston faces 2 charges for Pryor's murder. Winston had to be brought back from Texas. Boom, baby.
You know, we are thrilled to join Pacer Sports and Entertainment announcing their G League team's new name, the Noblesville Boom.
Noblesville Mayor Chris Jensen on the name change of the former Mad Ants, the G League Pacers affiliate there.
We are thrilled to tip off an exciting new era for our G League team, the Noblesville Boom, while honoring the legacy and global brand power of the Indiana Pacers.
Pacers Sports and Entertainment CEO Mel Raines. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
You were blessed to have a home large enough to raise a family. But now the kids have been on their own for a while, and the house seems a little different. All those rooms are a bit too much to manage. Simple just seems better. Simple Quarters is a company that understands, and they can help you trade in your house for one that's a better fit for this point in your life. A lot of folks don't realize you can trade in your house like you can trade in your car. Simple Quarters will buy your house and help you transition into a new one all at the same time. No double mortgages or months of showing and stress. They streamline the process. Or they'll simply buy your house as is, and you can take the next steps on your own. Simple Quarters is a Christian company committed to making your real estate transitions easier. If you're considering downsizing, Simple Quarters offers both as-is home purchases and a convenient home trade-in option. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris. Crash westbound 70 after Emerson Avenue on the right shoulder. Slow gets back to Shadeland Avenue. Inbound 65 on a 15-minute delay. 38th Kessler down to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, that's stop traffic. Holt Road to the south split. 19-minute delay if you're heading that direction. South side crash, Thompson Road, east of Emerson Avenue. And this is a crash in Noblesville, State Road 37 at Greenfield. Looking at northbound 465, stop and go traffic 79 to 865. Eastbound 465, stop and go traffic Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. And on the east side, avoid the area around Ritter Avenue and 16th Street. Police investigating a shooting there. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expecting mostly clear and chilly Wednesday night with lows in the low 40s. Then we're in for a warmer and breezy Thursday with some showers in the mix in the afternoon and evening hours. Highs will be the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
So, Hammer, we have another celebrity scheduled to appear at the Indy 500 coming up in just a few weeks.
It feels like this is the perfect fit for what he's been asked to do.
Okay.
So, appearing as the Grand Marshal of the Snake Pit, okay? Not the Grand Marshal of the parade, not the Grand Marshal of the entire event, specifically the Snake Pit Grand Marshal, Rob Gronkowski. Gronk will be there in the snake pit doing Gronk things.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Rob Gronkowski here, and we just announced that I'll be going to my first ever Indy 500, the most attended sporting event in the whole entire world. I'll be down in the snake pit where the party never stops. Catch it all on Fox, May 25th. See you there.
Is he one of the most successful and well-known tight ends in the history of the NFL?
Oh, yeah.
Playing with Tom Brady on two different Super Bowl winning teams.
Right. Had success after the Patriots with the Buccaneers when he reunited with Tom, and they won a Super Bowl without Belichick. And if you remember, when they came to Indy for that Super Bowl, the one they lost to the Giants, the one that we hosted, afterwards, there were pictures of a shirtless, hard-partying Gronk at some rave around downtown.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. He was taking out his frustrations, like shirtless, raving, somewhere here in Indy.
It doesn't sound like he was frustrated. It just sounds like he was partying and drunk. But that's cool. No, Gronk out at the Indy 5. What does that mean, the Grand Marshal of the Snake Pit?
So I guess he's going to be, like, maybe introducing some things, like... He's tasked with hard partying in the snake pit.
Okay.
And I feel like if you're going to tell me, hey, we need somebody famous to be in charge of a hard party of patriot-loving people at the snake pit, it's Rob Gronkowski.
I mean,
right?
Again, the question remains, and I think you agreed with me, the most successful tight end in the history of the NFL?
He's certainly up there. He's certainly up there. Successful with the Super Bowls, absolutely.
Talented, in terms of the quality of play?
Yes.
Yeah?
He's in the conversation.
I mean, he had Tom Brady throwing him footballs.
But I mean, you could say that with Travis Kelce too, right? Travis Kelce, really good, up there, all the stats, the Super Bowls, but you also had Patrick Mahomes throwing you the ball.
Ooh.
Like, it seems like most great tight ends also had a good quarterback to go along with it.
Would you rather have Kelce or Gronk?
Oh, man.
If you're a quarterback.
I feel like Gronk. I'm going to go Gronk because he's done it with two different teams, right?
Yeah.
He could block. He was physical. He was mean. And his personality, I think, is going to be perfect for the snake pit.
He's a goofball.
He's
a goofball. I like it.
And earlier we announced that tickets are now on sale for our annual Tales from the Track event presented by Relay Indiana. It's Monday, May 19th. It's at the Ray Hall Performance Center, the Graham Ray Hall Performance Center in Zionsville. Graham Ray Hall is going to be our guest. If you haven't seen this place, holy crap. You walk into this facility, and not only is it like a banquet facility where you can do stuff, it's like you're on the set of the Fast and Furious. All of these expensive, multi-million-dollar cars are around.
It's like a multi-million-dollar car dealership.
Right.
Well, and motorcycles, too. The Ducatis are badass. If I was a motorcycle guy, I'd be going there to shop.
If you are a car person, whether it's you, your dad, your kids, this is the event. Because Graham's going to do a little chat with us. Yeah. We'll take some questions from the crowd. And then he's going to take pictures with everybody. We got a buffet for you, a couple drink tickets, and then a cash bar. You're going to get the private tour of his garage up there where he's working on some race setup and these super expensive cars. I said this earlier. When I went up there to meet with their people to talk about this event, in the back, they were working on an $8 million car. Now, keep in mind, I'm driving a Buick that's parked in our garage. An $8 million car was up there on like the big lift being worked on.
$8 million? I mean, was it a Bentley with the jet engine installed in it?
And it comes with a double-jointed hooker, I think, in each one. I don't know. But this facility is so awesome if you're a car guy and if you love the Indy 500. It's a great way to kick off race week.
That would be awesome if I could get Graham Rahal after the event to like trail me home on one of his Ducati motorcycles.
If there's a chance of you throwing up on one of his Ducati motorcycles, I can tell you what the answer is going to be right now. And that's a negative Ghost Rider. But tickets are on sale. WIBC.com. Go to our social media.
Yeah.
Hammer and Nigel Show. A couple people have already sent us messages. They bought their tickets. They're locked in.
Nice.
This is one of our favorite events that we do every year. Nigel, I'm still floored at the amount of dummies who still feel like there was an accidental deportation where some mild-mannered family man, somebody that was like a teacher or a doctor, got accidentally deported to El Salvador.
And if you thrown in the prison.
And if you buy that, I've got oceanfront property in Beech Grove to sell you because that's not what happened. There was a clerical error. There was a name that was entered wrong, but a MS-13 gang member was sent back to his country of origin. And oh, by the way, we're now finding out that his wife had a domestic violence claim against this guy.
That's the thing that the media is telling you. Well, this guy had a wife and had children, and he was just taken off the streets randomly.
He was at the library when an evil, mean Tom Homan put a knapsack on his head and dragged him out in front of his children. It's not happening. And the amount of people that buy this, like if you want to find the stupidest people on social media, the biggest dummies on social media, it's the ones carrying the water for this guy. So here last night on CNN, Scott Jennings was taking on this panel of people who feel like this was just some innocent man. He was performing heart surgery when he was just ripped out of the emergency room.
Scott Jennings, a true Republican amongst many, many liberals on that panel.
Correct. Yeah. Here he is, and he's just trying to do a little fact-checking in real time. And you could just tell it pisses off the liberal panelist.
There's due process that exists in this country for everybody. And the fact that this man had received no due process, he was effectively disappeared to a foreign country, a country which he came from, which he was basically got asylum.
It's not a foreign country. He lives there.
Excuse me, no, he does not live there.
He's a citizen of El Salvador.
Scott, excuse me, he got asylum in this country.
He's a citizen.
Scott,
does he have asylum?
Excuse me, let me finish.
No, he doesn't.
No, it's not that he, sorry, it's not that he got asylum. He got a judge to say that he could not be.
Does he have a deportation order?
Excuse me, he could not be. Can you let me finish? He could not be. He could not be rendered back to El Salvador because he was at risk of being harmed in El Salvador. That is what a federal judge. That is what a federal judge.
By who? No, who was he at risk of?
Excuse me, that was what a federal judge said.
He
could not be deported.
Risk of being harmed
he could not be. Who could he be at risk by? I don't know. But
a rival gang.
No. Excuse me, Scott. Excuse me, stop. Do you really believe that this guy's an MS-13 member? Because
I've got two heads of state telling me that they believe it.
Oh, okay. Your heads of state. Okay, Barack Obama said that.
Yeah, I mean, when you keep on saying, excuse me, be prepared to hear the words followed up with, I don't know.
Right.
Which is what Scott Jennings and the woman he was arguing with, that's what happened.
And again,
the guy, yeah.
We said this earlier. Look at who the heroes are of the political left right now. Look who the people they're posting about and they're rallying around. The guy who murdered the healthcare exec, the MS-13 gang member who may or may not have beaten his wife, and the Palestinian nut job that tried to murder the governor of Pennsylvania. These are the heroes to the political left right now. Ridiculous. Nige, sad news, game show host Wink Martindale has passed away. You and I talked about this on our Wish TV hit that we do every day a little bit earlier.
Legend in his 90s, lived a long, full life.
I remember Wink from Tic-Tac-Doe back in the day, the old game show. But game shows are popular, like they're popular again. Greg Gutfeld of Fox, he's getting ready to host a game show on Fox Nation, their streaming outlet. And the concept is they've taken a handful of people who have been in total isolation since Trump's inauguration, and he's going to ask them a bunch of questions of like how ridiculous things are in society right now.
Wait. So they have had no idea of what's going on since Trump's inauguration.
Correct.
Hence the word isolation.
They know nothing of deportation flights. They don't know anything at all. They didn't hear his address to Congress. They've been in isolation since his inauguration. And the game show is going to be Gutfeld asking these people either a made-up question or something that's real, and they have to see if they know the difference.
That sounds great.
May 12th, 13th, and 14th. The name of the show is What Did I Miss? And Greg Gutfeld's going to be the host. So I think that sounds kind of interesting. And this brings us to great moments in game show history. This is back when the late, great Alex Trebek, who I think is the #1 seed in your March Madness bracket of game show hosts. Alex Trebek, the category was rap lyrics.
Another plane, another train, another bottle in the brain. The Beastie Boys rapped in No Sleep Till Here. Eric.
What is Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, correct. In Nothing But a G Thing, this doctor rapped, never let me slip, because if I slip, then I'm slipping. Mary.
Who's Dr. Dre?
Yes.
It's a Rap 2000.
Public Enemy. You go ooh and ah when I jump in my car. People treat me like this Hall of Fame LA Lakers center. Mary.
Who's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Yes, and I don't know why that's making you laugh so much.
I love Alex Trebek rapping.
He was starting to get into it a little bit there.
Great moments in game show history. This was my favorite answer from Wheel of Fortune last year.
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it, I think. Yeah. Much better answer.
This is the best. It was not right in the butt. And last but not least, this is Steve Harvey on Family Feud. Very rarely does he break down and swear at an answer, but something caught him off guard.
If Captain Hook was moonlighting as a handyman, he might replace his hook with what tool?
A hammer.
Try again.
A penis.
Tell me the age a kid is too old to sleep with a what he say? Let go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I swear I'm sorry. That just came out.
Great moments in game show history. Matt Baer.
Southbound 65 at West Street crash on the entrance ramp going from west to southbound 65. It is open. And southbound 65 dragging right now, 38th Counselor to Meridian Penn for a 15-minute delay. Eastbound 70 locked down from Holt Road to the South Split. That's an 18-minute delay on the east side, southbound 465 stop and go before 70 down to South Shadelet Avenue. South side, eastbound 465 pockets of stop and go traffic. Man over to I-69 again before and after I-65. It's a crash on the south East side, Thompson Road, east of Emerson Avenue, a crash in Noblesville, State Road 37 at Greenfield. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up here in just about 13-ish minutes, Tony Kennet, host of the Tony Kennet Cast, will join us. Right now, it's 59 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Are you okay with this? We'll play that next.
Learn how you could squeeze every nickel out of your Social Security benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy. It is critical you make smart decisions when it comes to Social Security and your retirement. You don't want to be leaving any money on the table that's yours.
Bill Demery, your retirement guy. He knows Social Security like the back of his hand, and he can explain things in a way you understand. It's complicated stuff, but Bill Demery breaks it down. The how, the when, the ways you can get the most money from your Social Security. Also, he considers your taxes, spousal benefits, even your Medicare premiums. So what are you waiting for? Set up a time to chat right now. Set up a free analysis. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120.
Hi, friends. This is Patty Spittler with Pet Pals TV. You know, I'm very comfortable in front of the camera, but the telephone can intimidate me. Because of my hearing loss, I can't hear well on a regular telephone. Now with my caption telephone, I'm making contacts in a busy world. My caption telephone through Relay Indiana allows me to read what the other person is saying. Go to RelayIndiana.com to learn more about the caption telephone. Read what you're hearing.
Men over 40, struggling with low energy, not feeling like yourself, Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, meet a medical provider, and get back to feeling your best.
This month only, the consultation is free. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it's covered by most health insurance. Get treated at a Low T Center near you or even in the comfort of your home. Book your appointment now at lowtcenter.com. lowtcenter.com.
April showers can bring plumbing downers, and my friends at Hope Plumbing don't want you to get caught in a flood this spring. Make sure your sump pump is working properly to avoid any damage. During the month of April, call Hope Plumbing and get a free sump pump with the purchase of a new battery backup system. A sump pump is vital to protecting your home from heavy rains, so you don't want to delay in calling Hope Plumbing. The number 641-HOPE, that's 641-HOPE, or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Fishers and Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota, or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com. At Advantage Vent, they make the only crawl-space vent that looks like a window and works like a window. Vinyl frame, double-pane glass, clean airflow, sealed protection. This isn't just ventilation, it's a full upgrade for your home for a mere fraction of encapsulation cost. Reduce moisture, odors, radon gas, and energy bills with Advantage Vent's Indiana-made crawl-space solutions, like their Power Vent with built-in fans. Available on Amazon. Use promo code INDY2025 for your extra exclusive discount today. That's AdvantageVent.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead.
Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
B&W's Premier Club membership goes a long way to prevent heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical problems. Go to bplusw.com.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Damon's Garden Center West on Rockville Road.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah! NBA superstar LeBron James, voice of reason.
Uh-oh.
This isn't talking politics, LeBron James. This is voice of reason, LeBron James. In a recent podcast, LeBron talks about WNBA superstar Caitlyn Clark and all the crap that she's had to deal with the Indiana Fever, not specifically with the Fever so much as the other players and the WNBA in general.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. Don't get it twisted. Don't get up. Caitlyn Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. You know, but I'm rooting for Caitlyn because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. You know, I'm just kind of in this mode right now because I'm getting the same, you know, thing from watching my son, who's a 19-year-old, kind of getting a lot of animosity and hatred towards him when he's just a kid trying to live out his dream. You know, there's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that Caitlyn has a great head on her shoulders.
LeBron James coming to the defense of Caitlyn Clark. Are you okay with this?
That I'm okay with, and he's absolutely right. The reason people are watching the WNBA at record levels is Caitlyn Clark. It's not Angel Reese. It's not Cameron Brink. It's not this new chick, you know, Paige Beckers that's coming into the league. It's Caitlyn Clark. There's a reason why when the Fever go on the road, these teams that have access to like NBA arenas nearby are scheduling those games there. I don't see that happening with the Chicago Sky, but it happens when the Indiana Fever come to town. Those games go to bigger venues. The one thing that I will take a little exception with is I don't think people are openly rooting against his son to fail. People just feel like he shouldn't be in the league.
Talk about Bronny?
Bronny. Listen, I have no beef with Bronny. I hope he does well. And if given the opportunity, if my old man was a great NBA player and he got me in the league, I would do it. I'd go play. Bronny did not start most of the time on his college team. Okay? Not starting in college doesn't mean you end up on the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the iconic franchises of the league. Nobody's saying, I hope Bronny doesn't make money because he's 19 and he's LeBron's kid. If he were good, people would be on board. He's just not very good. This is not a knock on him personally. I would do the same thing. Like I think anybody listening would. If your parent could get you on an NBA team, NFL team, Major League Baseball team, you would do it. It's not that people are hoping he fails. Fans are fans. They want the Lakers to win basketball games, and they feel like that roster spot could better be used by somebody that's good. All right, coming up next, Tony Kennet. He is the host of the Tony Kennet Cast. You can catch him 7 o'clock Monday through Friday, right after our program here at 93 WIBC. He's up next. We'll get his thoughts on the property tax fiasco, everything in between, the angry red-shirted teachers. That's kind of his wheelhouse. That's coming up right after we have a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
3 people shot. IMPD takes action. Sunny this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy. Thursday, rain is possible in the afternoon. It's 58 on Monument Circle now. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. A person of interest has been detained in a shooting on Irvington Drive. That's just east of Emerson on the east side. IMPD says they got calls about multiple people shot. When they got there, they found 3 people with bullet wounds, 2 critical, 1 they describe as stable. No name yet on the person they caught or why that person is the suspect. You've been hearing about autism today and how some people believe it's an epidemic. Others do not.
Like Chris Banks, who's the head of the Autism Society of America, who has chapters in Indiana. He says some leaders are pushing back on how the government is handling the condition, which is affecting more children than ever.
I do think that research on causes of autism is very important. I think research on how to better support and serve the autism community are also very important.
Banks says that Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s claim that vaccines cause autism leads people to stigmatizing the disorder. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You might have known them as the Mad Ants. A change, though, was announced today for the Indiana Pacers G League team. John Herrick reports.
If you've listened to any Indiana Pacers game on the radio over the years, you might have heard former Pacers coach and radio commentator Slick Leonard say this.
Boom, baby!
The Indiana Pacers are rebranding their G League team to honor that phrase by going from the Indiana Mad Ants to the Noblesville Boom.
We are thrilled to tip off an exciting new era for our G League team, the Noblesville Boom, while honoring the legacy and global brand power of the Indiana Pacers.
Pacer Sports and Entertainment CEO Mel Rain says this is a modern take on the familiar basketball that has defined the Pacers for decades. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, looking at eastbound 70, that is jammed up. Tibbs Avenue into the South Split, an 18-minute delay. And then we have northbound 465 on the northwest side, stop-and-go traffic, 79th up to 865. Moving downtown, southbound 65, delayed by 15 minutes from the White River Bridge to Meridian Penn. And then we have a crash. This is going to be in the area of downtown, and a crash right now looking at north and Illinois. Also, south side, eastbound 465 stop-and-go traffic from Kentucky Avenue over to I-69 and again from 31 to I-65. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin gardens, poly, cast, aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expecting mostly clear and chilly Wednesday night with lows in the low 40s. Then we're in for a warmer and breezy Thursday with some showers in the mix in the afternoon and evening hours. Highs will be the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
Not only is he an investigative reporter for the Daily Signal and a host here at 93 WIBC, I believe he was an original member of The Sopranos. Tony Kennet joins us. Tony, how are you?
As great as a vice president of the United States can do on a fine day like today.
You still get mistaken for J.D. Vance because you look exactly like the guy.
I got to tell you, at this point, I'm just living with it. And you know, the Secret Service detail is nice. I can't deny that.
Sure.
You should go to like these local Comic Cons and like stand next to like an Ozempic sign. Wow, look what has happened to J.D. Vance since he's been taking Ozempic.
I actually did have a moment a couple of weeks ago when I was last in D.C., in which there was an individual who came up to me and started a conversation, and then I could actually see their registration on their face, and they turned around and walked off. I have no idea who that was.
You know, I think it was Saddam Hussein that used to keep people that looked like him around him in his group of people, just in case he was trying to get assassinated. So maybe that could be a future job for you and the vice president.
I'm considering going to Greenland just to spook them.
I love that we're not even 3 minutes into this conversation. We've already compared Tony Kennet to Saddam Hussein. Tony, let's get into it here. Biggest political story in Indiana is the failure to reform property tax. The governor, the lieutenant governor, this was a big deal. At least it appeared to be a big deal to them. But this has been a pretty epic failure. Is this trouble for the Braun governor race, or can he recover from this?
I'd say that the even bigger story is that it's trouble for the Indiana Republican Party and the inability to say, hey, county commissioners, hey, county councils, you guys are the real ones that are in charge of most property taxes in your county. Property taxes are allocated, in the most part, by the county and not the state government. Don't get me wrong, there is a role the legislature, there is a role the governor needs to play in this, absolutely. I'm not shunting that off to the side. But when we're talking about the vast majority, I got to ask a lot of the county. And by the way, I've called my county commissioner. I think that people deserve to know why the local governments haven't gotten any scrutiny from the state party. Braun is a Republican and therefore obviously beholden to the Republicans in the state, of course, but also all these local government officials. What are they doing? They're hanging up on a lot of people who are calling them in various counties across the state and asking about property taxes. I don't want to just see a bill passed. I want to see total reform of Indiana's property tax system.
But how did we get to this point, Tony? Because it seems like right now, the way the optics are playing out, whether it's fair or not, is that Braun and Beckwith took on the establishment, and the establishment won. The lobbyists won. The angry red-shirted teachers, the local governments, the people that said if you get any sort of property tax relief, we might not be able to respond to fires and police runs. How did we get to the point to where they're bossing around the governor?
Well, what you really need to get to, how did they get to the point? Well, you got to the same Republicans in the State House that are terrified of being told to the media they would have shut schools down and locked fire chiefs in their basements and other kind of nonsense. Instead of saying, I got a question to this local school district. Why do you guys need an operating budget of like $12.5 million? Where's that money going? Because it's not going to your teacher salaries. Oh, it's going to that new AstroTurf field that the school board member whose brother's with the landscaping guy. Oh, I see. That stuff needs to be investigated. It does. But that's a difficult fight to have. And, that's, again, more than Braun and Beckwith can. They can veto things, and they should. But, when you don't have legislators that are actually willing to be held accountable by their own constituents, you're going to get the same stuff over and over. Crying to the governor about it is not the whole fight.
So was this meaningful reform in any way, shape, or form? Because in its original plan, they wanted to go back to 2021 rates, and I was paying 30% less property taxes back in 2021 than I am now, and that would have been amazing. That would have made a difference for everybody, but I don't feel like, a $200 or 10% with a $300 cap. What does that do for anybody, especially when property taxes are still going up?
Oh yeah, it does nothing. And
even if you're lower middle class, and somebody says, "Well, every little bit helps," $200 in a year, I don't think is going to make that big of a difference.
No, it isn't. I'm sorry. I don't do that kind of propagandistic nonsense where we pretend that things are sort of worth it that aren't. And to be completely honest, to go back to 2019 rates, you need both local governments and the state to outline things. And I'm going to say something that may be really unpopular. I just don't care. Purdue and IU should not be receiving a single federal or state cent. Why? Why is a college receiving my money? Why? Well, that's workforce development. Screw you. If you can't get a job in the state based on your degree and you can't pay for it, why are my tax dollars paying for it? You're the guy who wants the degree. And by the way, when I was at Ball State University, I said the same thing. No one should be paying for me to get an education master's degree. That was my choice. Why do I have to pay for your college degree or your college sports team? Though I'm a diehard Hoosier fan, there shouldn't be state money going to that. Why? There's no effective good that has come out of funding universities in the state of Indiana. I haven't seen it. So why are Indiana Hoosiers paying the bill for that? Yeah. So that what? Someone's not going to gripe at the State House? Oh, yeah, that's worth it.
So speaking of griping at the State House and education, it's a great segue to the angry red-shirted teachers that had their annual gathering at the Indiana State House this past week, Tony.
Right, the annual period sync up, absolutely.
And again, as someone who used to work in the education system here in Central Indy, listen, a lot of parents are pissed off about this because last minute they've got to scramble to find childcare, and then they get hit with well, we're just going to add an extra day to the end of the year. That's a bunch of crap in itself. But the reason for the protest, Tony, and I've asked you this before, but I think it's bearing of a repeat ask. Why are they angry at the lawmakers when it's their own admins that screw them more than anything else?
Because school administrations and teachers unions for the last several years have worked hand in hand. Originally, you had teachers unions that tried to haggle against school administrations to get better deals for teachers. But since all of the administrators in the state have to go through the exact same process, and it's the exact same small club with their own little special degrees and licenses, they all rotate around, it's the same crew. So instead now you actually have administrations and teachers haggling against the parents in the district. So they're out there complaining at the lawmakers because the lawmakers are supposed to be representative of the constituents of the district, which means parents. So they got to scream and they got to yell because it's mostly it's not mostly performative. It's all performative. I mean, half the signs were spelled incorrectly, which for a teachers union group, yikes.
You know, you just look at this on paper, and the bulk of the state's budget, more than anything else, goes to education. And yet when the money gets passed to the schools, it's the admins that are hiring six-figure-a-year social media coordinators. They're getting new football fields, new baseball fields, all this crap. And the teachers are still saying, where's our pay to the lawmakers? They need to be taking that to their own admin buildings.
Well, also you need legal reform in this state that says, I'm sorry, why are school districts hiring $1.3 million legal contracts and insurance contracts every year? Well, that's in case they get sued. Okay, I will make the ardent suggestion here that maybe lawsuits on every side shouldn't be getting thrown around every 15 minutes and wasting taxpayer dollars. That's something that I believe should be bipartisan reform. The idea that Hamilton Southeastern or Shenandoah School Corporation or Tippecanoe or whoever gets $1 million legal contract a year so some lawyer can sit in a leather chair and smoke away your tax dollars is insulting.
And I believe there are a lot of great teachers out there that are embarrassed of their unions. Didn't you tell me one time sometimes you help teachers figure out how to remove themselves from their own union?
I do. I do enjoy the pastime of telling teachers to ask their banks to withhold funds from teachers unions because you cannot be ordered to remain on a teachers union payment plan every year. I mean, it's a waste of your money. Don't spend over $1,000 a year of your own cash to receive a bag of fudge 1 week a year and nothing else.
Hey, can you come back for one more segment?
Yeah.
All right, chatting with Tony Kennet, host of the Tony Kennet Cast. 7 o'clock tonight here at WIBC, but he's coming back with us next.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Look around. Spring is here. And no matter what you're planning or planting, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So spring forward in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. So spring forward, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit Hubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
There sure are a lot of memories in that house. It's where you celebrated years of anniversaries and birthdays, where you watched the kids grow, where you relaxed in your retirement. You love it right down to the scuff on the dining room floor and that sticky window in the bedroom. But now the stairs are getting harder, the lawn, the cleaning, the repairs, it's just too much to keep up. And you know it's probably time to downsize. But the thought of getting the house ready to sell is overwhelming. It's time to learn about Simple Quarters. They'll buy your house as is. No repairs, no worries. They handle everything. You take what you want and you leave the rest. They're a Christian company, so they understand the emotional ties, and they'll be respectful of your memories and feelings as they help you simplify your life. If you're considering downsizing and want a hassle-free way to sell your home, call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME, or go to simplequarters.com.
Attention Indiana homeowners. Are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no-interest, no-payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
Make hiring easier with the Workforce Experts. Let the people at Express Employment Professionals find you the right fit. Hiring is about people, not algorithms. Visit expresspros.com.
Damon's Garden Center West has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Damon's West on Rockville Road.
The WIBC mashup is everything you love, from fiery debates to laugh-out-loud takes, all in one podcast. No weak sauce. Just the best of the day each weekday. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, 12-minute delay coming in southbound 65 from the White River Bridge down to 21st Street. Eastbound 70 still stopped moving in parts. Tibbs Avenue to the south split, a 15-minute delay. And a crash downtown. This is on the entrance from West Street to southbound 65. That ramp is open. It is working. And also in the area of downtown, crash West 10th Street, west of Riley Hospital Drive. In that Riley Hospital area, it's at St. Margaret's. Crash north side 96 at Allisonville Road. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go. Man Road over to 135, and eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from South Keystone Avenue over to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
58 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back with Tony Kennet. The Tony Kennet cast right after our show tonight, 7 o'clock here at WIBC. Tony, I saw earlier today that Pam Bondi and the DOJ is suing the state of Maine over men and women's sports. This was a big announcement earlier. Now, if you go back a couple weeks, they had that tense little back and forth between Donald Trump and the governor of Maine at some sort of grab-ass event where she's like, I'll see you in court. Well, lo and behold, be careful what you wish for. Here we are.
Yeah, it turns out when you give the federal government lots of power, one of those powers is to enact title law, which means, what schools have to do in order to receive education funding, things like that. It turns out then to receive those dollars or to actually be a part of that, federal system, you got to follow the rules. And now we have an administration that says the penis makes you a man. And so if you don't follow that and then you put dudes with wangs in women's locker rooms, that's a lot of legal liability for the state and federal governments. And so if you're not going to play the game and you're still going to take federal money, well, sorry, sailor, that's a lawsuit.
Same thing happening with Harvard right now, right?
Oh, and I love every second of it. I love watching Harvard take federal money and go, money me, give me money. And then the federal government say, okay, well, then you have to hire people based on what they do, not what skin color they have. And Harvard pearl clutches and goes, oh, you can't just tell us to hire people based on character. They say, spitting at the picture of Martin Luther King Jr. So, I mean, Trump then froze the money. I love it. A cause and effect.
Speaking of pearl clutching, the New York Times, aren't they pretty upset that one of your coworkers over there at the Daily Signal is getting called on more in these White House briefings than they are?
Really? I love it. So for those who don't know, in the White House press briefing room, there's a big group of seats in the middle with the corporate media people, ABC, New York Times, et cetera. And then everyone else is like pushed on the outside. Like these chairs are reserved because of this Correspondents Association, which is really far to the left. The problem is the people in chairs ask the exact same question over and over. And I mean, literally, the same question over and over. So Carolyn's been asking everyone in the room questions, and not just people on the right, but like the LA Times and Axios, left-wing outlets that never get to ask questions, including my colleague, Elizabeth Mitchell. She's our White House correspondent. And the New York Times is upset that no one asks their regurgitation station 8 questions a day anymore.
One more thing here before we let you go, Tony. Are you as worn out on this Maryland man accidental deportation bullcrap as I am?
No, I love it. I want him to go all in on Maryland man. And we found out this morning that the guy's wife filed a protection order against him in 2021. Wow. Oh, so much for Mr. Angel.
Isn't it a trip? And we talked about this earlier. You look at who the idols are of the political left right now.
Oh, yeah.
You've got the guy that murdered a healthcare executive, an MS-13 guy that has been deported to El Salvador, a pro-Palestinian lunatic that tried to murder the governor, the Jewish governor of Pennsylvania, and this guy that tried to assassinate Trump at a golf course. These are their heroes right now.
They won't stand and clap for the parents of Lake and Riley. They won't stand and clap for a terrorist being deported back to the United States. But I tell you what, you have a actual MS-13 member who probably beat his wife. Man, we got to get down on the plane and protest to get him released from prison immediately. Way to go, Dems.
What's coming up on the big show tonight?
Well, we're going to dig into a little bit more on the wild wonders of Democrat politics and optics at the moment. But most importantly, we're going to talk about the importance of men having periods.
Can't wait for that. That's 7 o'clock tonight on the
Wow.
Tony Kennet cast.
That's quite a sell right
That's
there.
it. That's a tease there.
I'm tuning in.
Totus, great stuff. We'll talk next week.
Thanks, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce changes your life and the lives of your children. This change can be good or bad. The outcome depends greatly on the attorney that you choose. So interview more than one attorney. Family law experience, especially trial experience, is important, but so is temperament and judgment. Also, remember to consider Cordell & Cordell. We've been serving men in divorce for over 30 years.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Of course I love my parents, I really do, but often felt angry with them because I was always screaming so they could hear me on the telephone. All that has changed thanks to the CapTel phone from Relay, Indiana. We're so much better off because now my parents can read what I'm saying on the CapTel caption telephone. Our conversations are pleasant because through voice recognition technology, my words appear to them on an easy-to-read screen right on the telephone. Thanks, Relay Indiana.
Learn more at RelayIndiana.com.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
Men over 40 struggling with low energy, not feeling like yourself. Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, meet a medical provider, and get back to feeling your best.
This month only, the consultation is free. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it's covered by most health insurance. Get treated at a Low T Center near you or even in the comfort of your home. Book your appointment now at lowtcenter.com. lowtcenter.com.
Come on, Indy. Don't use the spring to paint your house year after year. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Marek Mazurek. Florida-based L3 Harris Technologies, Inc. cut the ribbon Wednesday morning on a $125 million expansion of its Fort Wayne operations. The project features an expanded 95,000 square foot payload integration facility, which is designed to support the design and development of next generation technology for the company's missile defense